Nick Rodecap with you here on the Greenville Flyboys Baseball Network. We'll give you lineups first for the visiting Greenville Flyboys entering this game at 3-3. Tyler Inge, the designated hitter tonight, leads off. Grant Hunter, the center fielder, bats second. Cameron Kim, looking to finish a game in a Greenville Flyboys uniform. He joined the team prior to this road trip, got the start last night, but that game not official. Cameron Kim, I should say, the shortstop, batting third. Micah Jordan in left field, batting cleanup tonight. Lane Akers, the first baseman, bats fifth. Brady Francisco is behind the plate. He bats sixth tonight. Reed Hare, the right fielder, batting seventh. A.J. Diaz, not in the lineup last night, gets the start at third base tonight. And Peyton Miller, the second baseman, batting ninth. The Tri-State Coldcats lining up like this. Behind the plate, it's Cesar Gonzalez. Third to first, Ryan Maggie at the hot corner. The shortstop is Christian Resendez, the second baseman Julio Soler, and at first base, Chandler Murray. Left to right in the outfield for the home nine, the Tri-State Coldcats. Bishop Quarles in left, Sal Mineo in center field, and in right field, Michael Rodriguez. That's how the Coldcats line up. Noah Lafine, the right-hander out of Ohio State, towing the slab for the home nine this evening. A right-hander will get the start and hopefully get to pitch longer than Tri-State's starter Tucker Delisle did last night. The rain is still falling here at Jack Cook Field. It had stopped momentarily, but the rain has started up again. It's a steady rain. We're set for first pitch about 12 minutes after the top of the hour here from Jack Cook Field. Tyler Inge stepping to the plate. This game was supposed to be started right at 7 o'clock. Instead, it'll be about 7:12. And Tri-State has won the standoff. Bade losing his place over there at first base. That gets the boys going in the Tri-State dugout. That's something you see in the majors sometimes, but not so much in college baseball. I think that's the first standoff I've ever seen in person. Righty-righty matchup. Lafine winds and deals. Tyler Inge takes high and inside, and we are finally underway from Jack Cook Field. First pitch time, 7:12 p.m. Lafine out of the windup, the 1-0. Inge takes high once again. The count now 2-0. Markel Hastings behind the plate tonight as these umpires do swap. And Lafine's 2-0. Inge fouls it back to the screen. The field umpire in tonight's game is Brandon Wells. 2-1 the count on Tyler Inge, the leadoff man. His first game in the role of designated hitter this season. And the 2-1, a changeup from Lafine right on the low inside corner for strike two. Lafine, one of a couple Ohio State Buckeyes on this Tri-State roster this summer. Just finished up his freshman year in Columbus and headed south here to Huntington. 2-2 fastball from the righty, misses outside, and the count runs full on the leadoff man, Tyler Inge. Lafine, originally from Akron, Ohio, finished his high school career with over 200 punch-outs from the right side. Payoff pitch. Inge takes inside, ball four, and the leadoff man is aboard. Inge gets a tap on the batting helmet from Tyke Redmond, the actual first base coach, replacing Kyle Bade as he lost that standoff. Grant Hunter, the center fielder, batting second here tonight. Another righty-righty matchup, and he takes a fastball outside from Noah Lafine. Lafine this past season with the Ohio State Buckeyes made 5 appearances, pitched 7 innings. He allowed 17 earned runs in those 7 innings. Command was a problem. 8 walks to 3 strikeouts. Hunter, a soft liner into shallow right. It's fielded on a hop by the second baseman, Soler. Diving in safely at first base is Grant Hunter. He got jammed quite a bit on that swing, fought it off. It looked like it was going to land in shallow right field. It landed on the edge of the infield dirt. Soler fielded it as he was sprinting towards shallow right. Hunter hustling down the line, legs out the infield hit. Tyler Inge to second on the play. First and second, nobody out for the Flyboys, and the batter, Cameron Kim. Kim spent the last 2 seasons at UCLA with the Bruins, entered the transfer portal, and Kim now committed to Cal State Fullerton. Scoring opportunity here. He hits the first pitch foul over the first base dugout. And the Bruins, one of the last 8 teams remaining in college baseball this season, they took down Murray State in the opening game of the College World Series. Their opening game, I should say. The opening game was between Arizona and Coastal Carolina. Slider misses low and away from Noah LaFine. The count 1-1. 6-4 UCLA over Murray State. At one point, UCLA led 6-0 in that game. So the Racers come back, falling just a little bit short. LSU and Arkansas just underway from Omaha. 1-1 to Kim. He gets jammed. Foul tips it at home plate. Strike 2. Looked like a sinker there from LaFine, and Kim just couldn't get his arms extended. A wild one between Louisville and Oregon State last night. Or 2 nights ago, I should say. Or no, it was last night. Friday was the opening night. Oregon State walking off the Cardinals in the bottom of the 9th. 1-2 to Kim. Strike 3 called. LaFine dotted up the inside corner about belt high with a sinker. So first and second, 1 out for Micah Jordan. Jordan in left field for the first time this season, usually in center field, but not tonight for the Flyboys. Jordan batting cleanup here tonight, looking to give the Flyboys an early lead. First pitch, swung on, chopped foul to the left side. Jordan on the young season, batting .304, a perfect 6 for 6 stealing bases. If he gets one into the gap, can bet on him thinking about a triple. LaFine in some early trouble. From the stretch, the 0-1, a strike on the outside corner to Micah Jordan. The count quickly 0-2. Interesting uniforms tonight for the Tri-State Coalcats. On Saturdays, they go by the name of the Huntington Slaw Dogs as Jordan fouls off the 0-2. So their jerseys kind of a lime green color with black numerals outlined in white and numerals on the front as well. But no team name, just a Huntington Slaw Dogs logo. It's a hot dog with arms and legs and Huntington Slaw Dogs around the logo in a circular fashion in black text. 1-2 the count on Jordan. LaFine missing low and outside with a sinker. First and second, 1 away. We're scoreless in the top of the first, as the Flyboys look to get back above 500, currently sitting at 3-3. 1-2. Jordan takes up and in. And Tyler Inge, a delayed steal of third base, catches the catcher Gonzalez napping. Cesar Gonzalez behind the plate, lackadaisical, getting the baseball back to LaFine on the mound, and Inge alertly takes off for third base. So now runners on the corners with only 1 away. The pitch, Jordan, a ground ball up the middle, through into center field, a base hit. Hunter, a big turnaround second, on his way to third. The throw from Mineo is late, and Jordan moves up to second. That's great base running all around by the Flyboys as they take a 1-0 lead. Micah Jordan, an RBI single. Moves up to second on the throw to third base. Grant Hunter was thinking of going first to third the entire time. And it was very alert by Grant Hunter because the center fielder, Mineo, was covering a lot of ground coming in to retrieve that slow roller up the middle that split the shortstop Resendez and the second baseman Soler. So now second and third, still only 1 away for Lane Akers as he takes a slider low and outside from LaFine. The Flyboys looking to add to this 1-0 lead. They stranded 3 base runners in 3 innings last night before that game was suspended. The next pitch missing downstairs to Lane Akers. Count 2-0. LaFine already up to 20 pitches in this inning. Just 10 of them strikes. The third baseman, Maggie, even with the bag over there at the hot corner. Second and third, one away. The 2-0, a called strike from LaFine. The righty deals. 2-1, a chopper up the middle. This will score the run. Soler charging, throws across his body to first, not dug out cleanly. Now here comes Jordan trying to score, and he does so standing up. It was a tough play for Soler, the second baseman. He fielded that ball in front of the second base bag, just a step on the infield grass. It was a low throw across his body, and the first baseman, Chandler Murray, tried a backhand scoop, but did not do so cleanly. So 2-run score on the play. The Flyboys take an early 3-0 lead. That'll probably go in the books as a throwing error. Maybe an infield hit for Akers. We'll see how it's scored. Runner on first, one away. Flyboys leading 3-0 and digging in. The right-handed hitting catcher Brady Francisco takes inside from LaFine. Still deciding how to score that one as the official scorer, so we'll wait and see. Akers over at first. The 1-0 fouled off at home plate by Francisco. The rain has stopped for the time being. Skies still overcast, but no precipitation. And about right now, that's really all you can ask for, given the way this series has gone already. 1-1 to Francisco, misses high. Flyboys opening the scoring with an RBI single from Micah Jordan. He and Grant Hunter both scoring on the throwing error by Julio Soler. So an E4. No RBIs for Akers. 2-run scoring on that ball in play. And now Francisco lines one up the middle into center field for a base hit. Akers stopping at second base. And the carousel is on early for the Flyboys. 3-0 here in the top of the first. And now first and second with still only one out. That prompts a mound visit from Tri-State pitching coach Solomon Torres. Early trouble for Noah LaFine, as Akers not credited with the RBI, I do not believe. He gets one RBI, but not two, because the ground ball up the middle would have scored the runner from third, but would not have scored Jordan from second. So some early trouble here for Tri-State. We were scoreless after 3 innings last night, but the Flyboys jumping all over the home nine here this evening.
Right fielder, Reed Hare.
3 hits in the inning already for the Flyboys. Now Reed Hare to the plate, the only lefty in this Flyboys lineup. LaFine deals. Hare takes low and outside. The right-hander already up to 27 pitches, still with only one away in the inning. Nobody up and throwing yet in the Tri-State bullpen. Some players down there just watching on. 1-0 to Hare, outside for ball 2. And some early trouble here for Tri-State. Akers aboard at second. Francisco, the trail runner, at first. Double play ends the inning. LaFine delivers a 2-0 strike on a fastball, grabbing the outer edge of the plate. Clearly trying to work the left-handed hitter, Reed Hare, away, away, away. But not able to find the outer part of the zone on a consistent basis. Big pitch coming here on 2-1. Here it comes. Hare fouls it off at home plate. LaFine tried the changeup that time, got Hare to hit it off the end of the bat. And the difference between 2-2 and 3-1, especially with first and second already, is monumental. LaFine needing a second out in a hurry. This will be pitch number 30 of the inning, and it's lined back up the middle. That ball is down for a base hit. Runners had to make sure it dropped. Akers rounding third. The throw coming in. The play at the plate. The throw is in time, and he is dead to rights. That's a great throw by the center fielder, Sal Mineo. As it's a base hit for Reed Hare, but on the play, Akers thrown out trying to score. Scored 8-2 on the putout. A perfect one-hop throw. Mineo utilizing the turf to his advantage. That was a tailor-made hop for Gonzalez to apply the tag. Akers didn't even try to slide. That throw was so far in front of him. Now the first pitch to A.J. Diaz misses over his head for ball one. But now 4 hits in the inning for the Flyboys. 3-0 here in the top of the first, 2 down. Diaz still looking for his first hit of the season. He swings and misses for strike 1. Diaz wearing number 75 tonight. That is not his usual number. Usually he's just number 5. Wonder if maybe there was an equipment malfunction or something of that nature. Diaz, a high chopper back to the mound. LaFine lets it go. The third baseman, Maggie, has no play. That was some miscommunication there from the pitcher, Noah LaFine, and the third baseman, Ryan Maggie, over there at the hot corner. It was a high chopper to the left side of the mound. And I thought LaFine was going to be the one to field it, but some pitchers don't like fielding anything hit on the infield. LaFine put his hands up as if to say, I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole. And now the 9th man of the plate in the inning is Peyton Miller. He hits with the bases loaded, 2 away, and 3 already home in the inning. All the Flyboys hit singles so far. Miller a chopper back to the mound. This time LaFine fields it, jogs over, makes an underhand flip to retire Miller. But the Flyboys strike first in a big way. After a half, the Flyboys score 5 runs on 3 hits. They leave the bases loaded. But starting pitcher Colin Adams has some early run support. Bottom of the first coming up next here on the Greenville Flyboys Baseball Network. Welcome back to Jack Cook Field, where the Greenville Flyboys have a 3-0 lead as we enter the bottom of the first. Nick Rodecap with you here on the Greenville Flyboys Baseball Network. Thanks for spending your Saturday evening with us. Colin Adams, the southpaw for the Flyboys, has an early lead. Adams out of Yavapai Junior College, making his 2nd start of the season here in game number 7. The season beginning 9 days ago. Adams in that first start, 3 scoreless innings, although he walked more batters than I think he would have liked. 4 walks, 6 strikeouts. Just 2 hits, though, in those 3 scoreless frames. Lefty-lefty matchup as Sal Mineo takes a first pitch inside. Adams trying the breaking ball. Mineo, much like the Colecat starting pitcher Noah LaFine, also out of Ohio State. Adams from the stretch. 1-0 missing, low and away. Mineo originally out of Slippery Rock, Pennsylvania, as he takes a 2-0 changeup from Colin Adams for a strike. Mineo started 20 games as a true freshman in Columbus, hit under 200 playing for the Buckeyes. 2-1 on the ground to second base, first chance for Peyton Miller, and the throw nearly pulls the first baseman Akers off the bag. But field umpire Brandon Wells says he held on. Mineo retired on the ground out. And that was an Ohio State team that really struggled this past season under first-year head coach Justin Hare. 13-37 were the Buckeyes this past year. Just 5-25 in the Big Ten. And I think perhaps the biggest struggle for them was just playing away from home. They were 1-17 in true road games, were the Ohio State Buckeyes this past season. Cesar Gonzalez to the plate. Bases empty, 1 away here in the bottom of the first. The Flyboys leading 3-0 over the Colecats. Gonzalez takes a first pitch strike from Colin Adams. Healthy dose of off-speed stuff. All changeups and breaking balls to Sal Mineo. And now a changeup to start the at-bat here to Gonzalez. 0-1, the pitch. Another off-speed pitch. This one misses low and in from the southpaw Adams. Tri-State manager Tommy Gregg doing something very similar to what he did last night in the suspended game. Not quite alternating right-handed and left-handed hitters this time. 1-1. Gonzalez takes outside. But the Coldcats do have alternating lefties and righties in every spot in the lineup besides the number 6 and number 7 hitters who are both right-handed. And I said it last night in the broadcast, but I think it's impressive, the roster construction that you've got to do just to even have a chance to make that happen. Gonzalez swings through the 2-1. Count now even. Because the Flyboys only have 3 left-handed hitting position players on their roster. But the Coldcats clearly no shortage as they're able to alternate righties and lefties. 2-2 to Gonzalez, fouled back. And we were talking last night about things that happened this week in baseball history. I had stuff prepped for what happened on June 12th in baseball history. That game was never started. Then last night, we started talking about some really interesting stuff, and then that game got suspended. As Adams readies. And the 2-2 to Gonzalez. Brushes him off the plate. The count runs full. I feel like we've got to finish these stories because there are so many that all happened on the same day. I'm going to call it This Week in Baseball History just so that I can actually get all this stuff in because I feel like it's important. I feel like this is a very pressing issue. Full count, 1 away. Adams fires. Gonzalez hits it on the ground to short. Cameron Kim scoops it up, throws across the diamond in time to get Gonzalez. A couple ground outs to start the inning for Adams as he pitches with a 3-0 lead. Bishop Quarles the next to the plate. And we were talking about Jeff Samardzija and his 2014 season, where in his first 10 starts with the Chicago Cubs, Samardzija set a major league record for the lowest ERA without a win. A pitching win, not a team win. A pitching win. Samardzija was winless in his first 10 starts with an ERA of 1.46. Quarles takes low and away for ball 1. A lefty-lefty matchup here. And there was a tweet put out by Codify Baseball yesterday after Paul Skeens pitched 5 scoreless innings in a no decision. The 1-0, a slow curveball on the outside corner. Strike 1 to Bishop Quarles. Jeff Samardzija got the Paul Skeens experience 11 years before the Paul Skeens experience became a thing. 1-1 to Quarles. Adams tried to get the chase on the breaking ball, but the left-handed hitter didn't bite. So Samardzija was traded from the Cubs to the Oakland Athletics. Quarles takes upstairs. Fastball missing for ball 3. And then later that year, the White Sox, I would say, got fleeced. It was Samardzija and Michael Inoa who were traded to Oakland for a package that included 4 players: Marcus Semien, Chris Bassett, Rangel Ravello, and Josh Fegley. 5-pitch walk issued to Quarles. So a man at first and 2 away for Chandler Murray. 3-0 Flyboys here in the bottom of the first. I feel like the White Sox got fleeced in that trade because Marcus Semien and Chris Bassett are still playing, not for the A's, but both of those guys were very impactful during their time in Oakland. Rangel Ravello, I think, is most known for the home run that he hit for the Cardinals in 2019 in a game against the Colorado Rockies. First pitch to Murray, a check swing, couldn't hold up on the pitch in the dirt. And the count 0-1, which was called by the St. Louis Cardinals announcer at the time. Ravello, hello, knock me down, there you go, and take a trot. Murray takes outside, the count 1-1. And Josh Fegley, a personal favorite of mine because he played at Indiana. I don't know that many people actually know about Josh Fegley from a major league standpoint, but he went to Indiana. 1-1, man at first. The pitch. Chopped weakly to the left side. Diaz, the third baseman, up with it. Sidearm throw across the diamond is in time. And it's a scoreless first inning for Colin Adams. 3 groundouts in the inning. He strands a 2-out walk, and after one, 3-0 Flyboys over the Tri-State Coldcats on the Greenville Flyboys Baseball Network. Top of the second here from Jack Cook Field on the campus of Marshall University in Huntington, West Virginia. Greenville Flyboys leading the Tri-State Coldcats 3-0, or as the Coldcats are known on Saturdays throughout the season, the Huntington Slaw Dogs, which, if that's what it sounds like, coleslaw on a hot dog, thanks, but no thanks. I'll pass. Whenever I go to Raising Cane's, I always get extra toast instead of coleslaw, and I feel like I'm definitely not alone in that sentiment. Just received word from people with boots on the ground in the Circle City that Indianapolis is getting a Raising Cane's. So I look forward to visiting there once every 6 months when I'm back home and then never going again. For the Flyboys, they'll go back to the top of the order, still facing Noah Lafine, who threw 35 pitches in the first inning, allowing 5 hits and 3 runs, though only 2 of those runs were earned. Tyler Inge walked to start the night. He leads off the second as the Flyboys look to build on this 3-0 lead. Inge takes a first pitch slider from Lafine for strike 1. So we were talking about the 2014 Chicago Cubs in a year that I like to call the year before the year before. 0-1, Inge takes inside. Lafine tried a front door slider that missed the mark. You could tell the Cubs were starting to build something. They weren't quite there yet, but the pieces were moving. 1-1. Inge takes a breaking ball outside. But the Cubs relievers in the game where Dallas Beeler made his Major League debut. That's significant because Beeler's 36th birthday was earlier this week, and he made his debut when I first went to Wrigley Field. 2-1 to Inge, hits him right on the elbow guard. That ball ricocheting all the way into the on-deck circle on the first base side. So Inge aboard for the second time in 2 innings. We'll see if he's aggressive on the base paths, as he was back in the first with a delayed steal of third base. It has not been a smooth start for Noah Lafine. 10 batters faced, only 2 outs recorded on balls put in play. Or 2 outs recorded by the pitcher, the other on the base paths. As Grant Hunter digs in for the second time and takes outside. The Cubs' starting lineup in that game against the Nationals included Anthony Rizzo, which you might expect. Starlin Castro hit cleanup that day. 1-0. Hunter takes up and in. Lafine, the right-hander, missing inside a little bit to these right-handed hitters at the top of the Flyboys order. Chris Coughlin played left field and batted 6th. Coughlin, most known for doing a front flip over Yadier Molina to score a run when he was playing for the Toronto Blue Jays. 3-0 the count on Hunter. The last 2 pitches up and in from Lafine. Inge leading off of first base. The pitch. Outside, ball 4. So a hit by pitch, followed by a 4-pitch walk. And still nobody up and moving in the Coldcats bullpen. I wonder if Lafine is on a pitch count here, getting him to maybe 65 or 70 pitches and then pulling him from the game. The catcher, Cesar Gonzalez, going out to talk things over with his starting pitcher before Cameron Kim steps to the plate. John Baker was the catcher for the Cubs that day. Baker, kind of the ultimate random guy in Chicago Cubs lore. Justin Ruggiano was in right field. If you're looking for immaculate grid answers, played outfield minimum 1 game in Chicago Cubs, Justin Ruggiano probably has a pretty high rarity score. Kim digging in, first and second, nobody away. Flyboys looking to build on a 3-0 lead. Kim takes a slider outside. Now I see a couple of folks milling around in the third base bullpen where the Coldcats hang out. I count 7 players down there in total, plus I think the bullpen catcher. Now a lefty up and playing catch. 1-0 misses outside. 6 straight balls now from Noah Lafine. 7 if you count the hit by pitch. And Gio Gonzalez, again, 7 scoreless in that game opposite Dallas Beeler. Gonzalez was fantastic in the first game of a day-night doubleheader. 2-0. Kim fouls it back. Other things that happened this week in baseball history. June 12th, 1880, Lee Richmond threw the first perfect game. And this next one of my favorite stories. Not even just baseball related, but favorite stories, period. 2-1 the count on Kim. First and second, nobody away. Kim chops it to the third base side. Foul. 1884. Hundreds of fans stormed the field at Oriole Park during an American Association game between the Orioles and the Louisville Eclipse, which that's a great team name. A lot better than the Louisville Bats, although the Louisville Bats, I think, carries more historical significance. Kim lifts the 2-2 in the air to straightaway right. Rodriguez, coming in a few steps toward the line, makes the catch. Tyler Inge thought about tagging, but a great throw keeps him at second. Now they relay behind the runner at first, and Hunter was caught too far off the first base bag. He's thrown out, diving back to first. That's a heads-up play by the Tri-State defense. I don't know where Hunter thought he was going, because Inge was in front of him at second. He had nowhere to advance. But Hunter thrown out trying to dive back to first. I believe that'll be scored 9-4-3 on the putout. So runner at second, 2 away on the unconventional 9-4-3 double play. Micah Jordan takes the first pitch strike, and this inning is really flipped on its head for Noah Lafine. Heart of the order up for the second time in as many innings, with 2 on and nobody away. But now, after the base-running blunder by Grant Hunter, Lafine is a pitch away from getting out of the jam. Breaking ball misses low and away. And it is a 9-4-3 double play to retire Hunter at first base. 1-1 the count on Jordan. Lafine, a long look in for the sign from Gonzalez. Closed set on the first base side of the rubber. The 1-1. Breaking ball low and away. Throw behind the runner at second is offline as Tyler Inge dives back in safely. Inge an aggressive secondary lead, but he gets back. So dissatisfied with umpire Jack Brennan's calls, hundreds of fans stormed the field at Oriole Park during a game between the Orioles and the Louisville Eclipse. 2-1. Jordan lines one into left field. That ball is down for a base hit. Inge, a big turnaround third, gets the stop sign as the throw comes in from Bishop Corliss. It gets over the catcher, but because Inge got the stop sign, he has to retreat to third. Micah Jordan takes a leisurely jog into second base. And if Inge had gotten a little bit further down the third base line, he could have tried to score as that throw sailed to the backstop. And how big is that out recorded by Rodriguez? Throwing the ball in from right field and getting Hunter diving back to first base. Second and third after the single and the throwing error by the left fielder, Corliss, that allowed Jordan to move up to second. Inge did not score from third. The batter with 2 in scoring position is Lane Akers. First pitch misses inside. Lafine almost hit him. Lafine now over 50 pitches here in the top of the second. Flyboys holding a 3-0 lead. 2 in scoring position, 2 away. A chance to add some more. 1-0. Akers, a hard ground ball up the middle. Resendez couldn't pick it up cleanly, but he recovers in time to make the strong throw and retire Akers to end the half inning. So the Flyboys leave a pair in scoring position, but after an inning and a half, they still lead 3-0 over the Tri-State Coldcats here on the Greenville Flyboys Baseball Network. Bottom of the second coming up here from Jack Cook Field. Flyboys leading the Tri-State Coldcats 3-0 after an inning and a half. Colin Adams back on the bump for Greenville. The lefty worked a scoreless first inning. He'll look to do the same here in the second, facing 4, 5, and 6 in this potent Tri-State order. Tri-State averaging over 8 runs per game over their last full games, their last 4 full games. Although they were held scoreless in 3 innings last night, I don't think that really counts as bringing the average down because it wasn't a full game. Tri-State ranking 3rd in the Appy League, entering tonight at 7 runs scored per game. And digging in, Michael Rodriguez, the right fielder, who threw out Grant Hunter diving back to first base, a big part of helping Noah LaFine get out of what was a 2-on, no-out jam. Lefty-lefty matchup. First pitch breaking ball from Adams is a strike. You've seen a lot of those. A lot of off-speed pitches from Colin Adams, even early in the at-bats. Here's the 0-1. Rodriguez takes strike 2 from Adams on the outside edge. Fans telling home plate umpire Markel Hastings that that pitch was off the plate, but I think he has a better view of it than they do. Here's the 0-2. Upstairs to Rodriguez. 0 for 1 in last night's suspended game. Rodriguez, though, a threat to run, a perfect 4 for 4 stealing bases, leading all Cole Cats hitters in that department. 1-2. A swing and a miss on a pitch in the dirt, and Rodriguez is gone. That pitch nowhere close to the zone, but a really, really good job of Colin Adams there of selling that one. Looked like either a slider or a changeup that got him to whiff, and it was a slider. Perfect put-away pitch. So the leadoff man gone. Julio Soler, the second baseman, to the plate next. Soler, 5 for 12 on the young season. First pitch from Adams to the right-handed hitter, misses low and in. So the Orioles fans storming the field on this week in baseball history in 1884 because they were dissatisfied with the home plate umpire's calls. 1-0 to Soler, misses low. One man, wielding a large revolver, threatened to shoot the home plate umpire if he made any more bad calls. The police were called, the mob was cleared, and after the game, which ended in a 4-4 tie, the home plate umpire, Jack Brennan, was slugged to the ground by a fan and had to be taken to the Orioles clubhouse, then to Orioles outfielder Jim Clinton's home for his own protection before being whisked out of town on the first train. They say it just means more in the SEC when it comes to baseball, but I think it just meant more in the American Association back in the 1880s. 4-pitch walk issued to Julio Soler. Now Sam Winsett, the designated hitter, to the plate. As the Cole Cats look to draw closer, they trail 3-0 here in the bottom of the second. Nick Rotacap with you tonight and all season long on the Greenville Flyboys Baseball Network. Soler, just 1 for 2 stealing bases, leading off first, and Adams, a lollipop throw over there to keep him honest. He dives back safely. This week in baseball history, 1963, Dave Nicholson matched a Major League record that nobody wants. Another move over to first. This time it gets away from the first baseman Akers. This ball rolls all the way to the wall in foul territory. Soler moving to third base on a 2-base throwing error by the pitcher Colin Adams. It was not a particularly convincing pickoff move, but that throw up the first base line out of reach of the first baseman Akers, and Soler effectively turns a one-out walk into a triple. Scored E1. Just the Flyboys' 5th error of the season. The Cole Cats already with a pair tonight to bring their season total to 13, which would be the 2nd worst in the Appy League. Sam Winsett, the designated hitter, takes a first pitch strike. Lefty-righty matchup. The third baseman, A.J. Diaz, playing in just a little bit and towards the third base line. All the other infielders at normal depth. 0-1. Winsett fouls it back at home plate. Just got a piece of that. Dave Nicholson matched a Major League record that nobody wants. He struck out 7 times in a doubleheader this week in 1963. I don't envy how he felt after that twin bill was over. 0-2. Winsett fouls it back. And then 4 years later, in 1967, June 12th, 1967, the White Sox and the Washington Senators played the longest night game in Major League history, 22 innings, lasting 6 hours and 38 minutes. 0-2 swung on and missed, so a nice bounce back by Colin Adams. Striking out Sam Winsett on 4 pitches. And Ryan Maggie digging in, trying to bring home the runner from third base. Soler, a 1-out walk, and advancing to third base on a 2-base throwing error by Colin Adams. Maggie out of nearby West Virginia University in Charleston. We're in Huntington. First pitch. Left-handed batter takes outside. Maggie sporting a pink and white protective gear combo, elbow guard and shin guard. Adams the 1-0. Maggie takes an off-speed pitch low and away. Adams trying the breaking ball there. And then perhaps my favorite story, one of my favorite stories in all of baseball, happened this week in 1970. 2-0 to Maggie, misses outside. The count 3-0 on the Cats third baseman, the number 8 hitter in this lineup. Pittsburgh Pirates pitcher Doc Ellis threw his no-hitter on June 12, 1970. Pirates defeating the Padres 2-0 as part of a nighttime doubleheader. 3-0. Maggie takes a fastball, knee-high for a strike. Doc Ellis threw about 150 pitches. This is before pitch tracking was a thing. It was about 150 pitches for Ellis to get through the no-hitter. He walked 8 batters, but did not allow a hit or a run. 3-1 up and away, and it's another walk issued by Colin Adams. So runners on the corners for the number 9 hitter. Christian Resendez digging in. The shortstop 0 for 19 to start the year. Flyboys leading 3-0, but Resendez representing the tying run. Doc Ellis getting run support from Willie Stargell, who hit a pair of solo homers to give the Pirates the 2-0 victory. Ellis showed up to the stadium 90 minutes before first pitch on that day. First pitch strike to Resendez. Kind of reminds me a little bit of Dallas Braden's perfect game, where he showed up 2 hours before first pitch for the Oakland Athletics. Probably one of the most unlikely perfect games in Major League history. Not that there are any that are likely. 0-1. Resendez takes a well-located fastball. Belt high on the inside corner for strike 2. Adams a strike away from stranding a pair of base runners, much like Noah Lafine did in the top half of this inning. From the letters, Adams deals. The 0-2 misses low, swallowed up by Brady Francisco behind the plate. Ellis said that he was seeing multiple home plates that night, pitching for the Pirates, which kind of explains the 8 walks, but also how in the world did the Padres not manage 1 hit? I don't know. 1-2, Resendez hits it in the air to right. Reed Hare started back, now camps under it, makes the catch to retire the side. Cats strand a pair of walks after 2 full. Flyboys leading 3-0 here on the Greenville Flyboys Baseball Network. Welcome back to Jack Cook Field here in Huntington, West Virginia. The Greenville Flyboys leading the Tri-State Cats 3-0 as we begin the top of inning number 3. Noah Lafine still out there for the Cats. He stranded 5 Flyboys base runners through the first 2 innings. So suffice it to say, this game could be going a lot worse for him on the hill. He'll face Brady Francisco, Reed Hare, and A.J. Diaz, 6, 7, 8 in the Flyboys order here. Finishing their second trip through the order already, and we're just in the 3rd inning. Flyboys have had no shortage of scoring chances early in this one. And after they left multiple runners on base in 5 separate innings against the Kingsport Axemen in their last completed game, which was earlier this week, it's encouraging to see them capitalizing on those scoring opportunities so far tonight. Francisco digging in for the Flyboys. Brady Francisco picked up his first hit of the season back in the 1st inning, although he entered this game with an on-base percentage of .600. Small sample size, but he was walking a lot, even though he wasn't hitting safely. Righty-righty matchup. Lafine deals. Francisco takes an outside strike on a fastball. And this week in baseball history, it was not until 1997, June 12th, 1997, as LaFine comes back, yanks a slider outside to Francisco, the count 1-1. June 12th, 1997 marked the first ever interleague game in the history of Major League Baseball. It was in Texas. The Rangers fell to the Giants 4-3. Glenn Allen Hill was the NL's first regular season designated hitter. So if you ever need a trivia answer, who was the first regular season designated hitter? Glenn Allen Hill of the San Francisco Giants. Francisco fouls it back in the count 1-2. LaFine looking for his second punch out. 1-2, misses up and away. And this is a blast from the past. Justin Verlander threw a no-hitter this week in 2007. 2-2 to Francisco. Popped up first base side out of play, which I think speaks to Verlander's longevity. I don't think he's pitched much for the Giants this season. I think he's nursing an injury. But still on a Major League roster 18 years after throwing a no-hitter for the Detroit Tigers. He hit 100 miles per hour on the radar gun in the 9th inning of that game at Comerica Park. Another 2-2. Francisco, a weak roller to the left side. The third baseman, Maggie, charges, throws across the diamond. Francisco's gone, but that was a bang-bang play over there at first. Francisco running well for a catcher, but just a tick behind that one. First base coach Tyke Redmond thought he was safe, but no real objections after the call made by the field umpire, Brandon Wells. The only left-handed batter in this Flyboys order digging in, it's Reed Hare. One away here in the top of the third. LaFine winds and deals. Wrapped on the ground, foul to the first base side. The right-hander LaFine up to 61 pitches. 31, now 32 strikes. So about a 50-50 split. And we talked about long games earlier. 0-1. Hare takes low and in. The Kinston Indians beat the Myrtle Beach Pelicans on June 12, 2011, 3-2 in 23 innings. The longest game in the history of the Carolina League. 1-1. Hare takes up and away from LaFine. 15 players recorded 8 or more at-bats, and this is the part that really gets me. Zach Zaneski of Myrtle Beach and Roberto Perez of Kinston caught every single inning. Swing and a miss, the count 2-2 on Reed Hare. They caught all 23 innings of that game, which took 6.5 hours to complete before second baseman Casey Frawley won the game with a single. Hare strikes out looking on a pitch that looked like it was well off the plate. I don't think he agrees with that call. 3 men retired consecutively by LaFine. That's his longest streak of his outing through 2 2/3. And yeah, looking at the strike zone box, that pitch was 3 balls off the plate away to Reed Hare. That was not a strike. Base is empty, 2 out for A.J. Diaz. That is a strike at the knees. A fastball from LaFine. Plenty of eventful moments this week in baseball history. Diaz fouls back the 0-1. LaFine calming things down a little bit here after a turbulent first 2 innings. Needed 6 pitches to retire Brady Francisco and 5 pitches to get Reed Hare. 0-2. Diaz takes inside. But my favorite part about the Cubs Jeff Samardzija / Dallas Beeler lore, 1-2 to Diaz, strike 3 called. 4 in a row retired by Noah LaFine. He punches out a pair of Flyboys hitters in a 1-2-3 third inning. On to the bottom of the third. Flyboys still leading 3-0 over the Coldcats on the Greenville Flyboys Baseball Network. Welcome back to Jack Cook Field here on the campus of Marshall University, where the Greenville Flyboys lead the Tri-State Coldcats 3-0, entering the bottom of the third. Colin Adams, the left-hander, still on the mound for the Flyboys. College World Series action is underway at Charles Schwab Field in Omaha. Day 2 of the greatest show on dirt. Earlier today, Murray State fell to UCLA. 6-4 the final in that one. And Arkansas and LSU currently 3-0 in favor of the Tigers in the bottom of inning number 3. That one is going to be a fun one. It's already a fun one. Back to the top of the order we go as Colin Adams begins his second trip through the order. Sal Mineo leads things off. He'll be followed by Cesar Gonzalez and Bishop Quarles, the upper third of this tri-state lineup. Adams works exclusively from the stretch. And the pitch to Mineo. A check swing. He went around on the pitch in the dirt. Strike 1. Mineo grounded out to second base to begin the home half of inning number 1. Third baseman Diaz creeping in on the grass. Gonzalez thought about bunting but pulled it back. Pitch misses low and away. Mentioned the exciting action yesterday in the College World Series. Oregon State 4-3 walk-off winners over Louisville. 1-1. Mineo takes strike 2. Fastball gets the call. Coastal Carolina over Arizona 7-4. So UCLA beats Murray State today 6-4. We've got an exciting one coming up tomorrow in Omaha as well. Mineo lines this one up the middle. That is the first hit of the game for the Coalcats as Colin Adams enters the third inning of work. Cesar Gonzalez the next to the plate. Exciting matchups tomorrow as well. Louisville and Arizona in an elimination game. And Oregon State, Coastal Carolina in the nightcap on Father's Day. That is going to be a really, really fun game. Coastal Carolina, winners of, I believe, 24 in a row, which is just incredible to think about, as they look to win a title for the first time since that incredible run in 2016. First pitch to Gonzalez misses outside from Colin Adams. Three 0 Flyboys. We're in the bottom of inning number 3. Man on first, nobody away. Adams a long pause and the 1-0. Gonzalez takes an outside strike on a fastball. Says something to the home plate umpire, Markel Hastings. Hey, did that get the corner? Hastings says yes. A lot of room on the left side of the infield to the right-handed hitter Gonzalez, who takes up and away for ball 2. Middle infielders are shaded up the middle, and A.J. Diaz, the third baseman, is hugging the foul line. So really a lot of room on the infield because the first baseman, Akers, holding the runner on as well. 2-1. Breaking ball misses low. Gonzalez started his hands but kept the bat back. Adams now up to 48 pitches, exactly 50% strikes. 24 strikes, 24 balls for the lefty out of Yavapai Junior College. 3-1 to Gonzalez. Swung on, hit in the air to left center. Hunter tracking back. Looks like he has a beat on it, and he does. Makes the catch in the left center field gap. The runner, Mineo, tagging. The throw to second. Safe. The baseball beat him. The slide, though, getting Mineo to second base safely. A headlong dive, getting in just ahead of the tag from the second baseman, Peyton Miller. So Bishop Quarles now hitting for the Coalcats with a man in scoring position. Quarles, impressive at the plate early this season. 5 hits, 4 of which are doubles. First pitch, Quarles takes a breaking ball outside from Adams. 3 runs, 6 hits, an error for the Flyboys. And no runs on a hit, 2 errors so far for the Coalcats. Mineo at second base. And the 1-0 to Quarles. Taken outside. Francisco stumbles backwards grabbing that one. The count 2-0. Bishop Corliss, originally out of Hendersonville, Tennessee. I played a baseball tournament there when I was 14, or when I was 13, actually. 2-0. Corliss takes a breaking ball inside. I remember that one because all of the infields were all dirt. They were all very dusty. And I remember my team won that tournament. We did not get to play the championship game. It was rained out. 3-0 the count. Adams deals. Corliss takes in the dirt. Another 4-pitch walk to Corliss. Adams wants no part of him. Second time he's been walked today. And now the batter, Chandler Murray. First and second. One away here in the bottom of the third. The tying run is at the plate, and that brings pitching coach Jared Morton out to have a talk with Colin Adams and the rest of the infield. I remember that infield at the park where we played in Hendersonville, Tennessee, the hometown of Bishop Corliss, because all of the infields were entirely dirt, which is something that you sometimes see at youth baseball facilities because it's easier to maintain. And I also remember that that particular weekend, I did not hit very well at all. The only real positive impact I had offensively was a sacrifice fly that I'm pretty sure got us to the semifinal game. It was on, I think, Sunday morning when I hit that sacrifice fly. And that was like a big, big monkey off my back because of how poorly I had swung the bat that entire week. That was also, I think, one of the only weeks where my dad brought an actual camera to photograph the games. So I wonder if maybe there's a correlation there. I have no proof of that. But I did hit pretty well when the cameras were off. Which, of course, it feels like a lot of people can do. But when the lights are turned on, it's a different ballgame. Here's Chandler Murray, the cleanup hitter. Digging in from the right side, facing Adams. Man at first, man at second. One away. Colecats with the tying run in the righty box. First pitch. Murray takes a backdoor breaking ball for a strike from Adams. Going right back to that bread and butter. The off-speed pitch early in counts. We saw Adams use that a lot the first trip through the order. And a big first pitch strike there. That breaking ball at 70 miles per hour. And Adams steps off before the 0-1. I also remember on the drive back to Indianapolis from Hendersonville, Tennessee, there was a very odd weather phenomenon that took place on I-65, I believe. 0-1 misses low and in to Chandler Murray. The sky was bright orange, and it was pouring rain. Much like it was pouring rain during the national anthem here tonight. Hendersonville, part of the Nashville metro area. 1-1 to Murray, low and in. All off-speed pitches so far in the at-bat here from Adams after the mound visit. But I remember the sky was bright orange. There were some clouds off in the distance, but right above us, it was entirely orange while it was pouring rain. I have never seen that before or since. 2-1 to Murray, a well-located fastball on the outside edge, strike two. Seems like Markel Hastings, the plate umpire, has had a very pitcher-friendly strike zone today. That ball was in the shadow zone, about a ball off the plate away. 2-2. Murray swings through a breaking ball, strike three. And that's a big second out recorded by Colin Adams. First and second, two away. Colecats looking to break into this 3-0 deficit they're faced with. The batter, Michael Rodriguez. Rodriguez, the right fielder, led off the second inning, struck out swinging. Lefty-lefty matchup. Adams a look at second and the pitch. Rodriguez takes low and away. Rodriguez, originally from Pembroke Pines, Florida. Pembroke Pines, just north of Miami. Adams, the 1-0. Rodriguez takes a fastball on the outside black, strike one. Pembroke Pines, just west of Hollywood, Florida, and a little bit northwest of Miami Gardens, the home of Hard Rock Stadium, where the Miami Dolphins play. 1-1. Rodriguez fouls it back. Miami Gardens, also the home of the Miami Grand Prix in Formula One and the associated support races. Miami's an interesting track. I remember it being very frustrating on the Formula One video game because it has a lot of traction zones where you need to short shift to avoid spinning out, and I did a lot of spinning out. Inside move to second. Mineo retreats. Still there after the leadoff single and moving up on the flyout. Corliss out at first after the walk. Miami Grand Prix, one of the most expensive F1 events to get into. Tickets certainly not cheap. 1-2. Rodriguez takes outside. Formula One now with 3 races in the United States. One not far from Rodriguez's hometown in suburban Miami. The other 2, the longest tenured of the 3 is the race in Austin, Texas, which is known as the United States Grand Prix. 2-2. Rodriguez fouls off a high curveball. Almost looked like he took a tomahawk swing at that one. And the most recently added of the 3, the Las Vegas Grand Prix. First taking place in 2023. And if you ask any F1 fan how the lead up to that race went, they'll tell you it did not go well. Another 2-2, again fouled back. Rodriguez putting up a good fight here, looking to get the Coldcats on the board. They trail the Flyboys 3-0 here in the bottom of inning number 3 here on the Greenville Flyboys Baseball Network. There were loose drain covers in the streets, practice sessions that, as a result of the loose drain covers, went past 2 in the morning local time. Another 2-2. Rodriguez swings and misses, and the side is retired. Adams strikes out back-to-back batters, swinging to get out of the 2-on, 1-out jam. After 3, Flyboys lead 3-0 here in the Greenville Flyboys Baseball Network. Welcome back to Jack Cook Field, here the home of the Tri-State Coldcats, or as they're known on Saturdays at home, the Huntington Slaw Dogs. Whatever the name, they trail the Flyboys 3-0. Noah Lafine still on the mound for the Coldcats into his 4th inning of work. Lafine, the Coldcats starting pitcher here tonight, has thrown 69 pitches to get through 3 innings. He was very efficient in the 3rd, though. Set down the side in order. Needed about 12 pitches to do just that. And if he can do the same in the 4th, he'll keep his team within striking distance. A lefty is up and ready in the Coldcats bullpen. So as he faces 9-1-2 in this Flyboys order, we'll see how much of a leash he has. The old adage, of course, that the 3rd time through the order is typically when the wheels fall off for most pitchers, just because by that point, you've pretty much thrown everything you have at the hitters. Lafine's first pitch to Peyton Miller fouled straight back to the screen. Miller hit in the 1st inning in the number 9 spot. Flyboys sent all 9 men to the plate. Miller, though, grounded out back to Lafine to end the inning. The 0-1. Miller takes a slider right there for strike 2. Now the 0-2. Miller takes outside, the fastball from Lafine that time. Marshall, the Thundering Herd, is their mascot. 1-2. Miller on the ground to 3rd base. Maggie up with it. Throws across. A high throw way offline. And Miller is safe. That one was headed for the Flyboys dugout. It ricocheted off the protective railing and bounced into foul territory right as 5 Flyboys pitchers were getting ready to head to the bullpen. So they were all standing there like deer in headlights as Miller reaches on the 3rd error committed in 4 innings tonight by the Coldcats defense. That now brings their season total up to 14. Entering tonight, the Danville Otterbots, the only team that had more. They are up at 15 before action began. Top of the order for the third time facing Noah Lafine. Tyler Inge, no official at-bat yet. He has walked and been hit by a pitch and has now just gotten hit for the second time. Much like the first, this one hits him in the elbow. He's got a guard on, so he's okay. And now real trouble once again for Noah Lafine. We mentioned how efficient he was in a 1-2-3 third inning. But now a throwing error by Ryan Maggie, the third baseman. And then Tyler Inge gets hit on the first pitch he sees. Throws the elbow guard off toward the dugout in frustration. And now Grant Hunter digging in. First pitch misses outside. Hunter saw his first action earlier this week against the Bluefield Ridge Runners. Hit a line drive homer to left in his first at-bat of the season. Now 3 for 8 early on in his campaign. Taking outside here for ball 2. Lafine now up to 76 pitches on the night. Hunter has reached both times as well. If he can reach base again, it might spell the end of the night for the Colt Cats starting pitcher. Miller at second, Inge at first, and the 2-0. Hunter takes well outside for ball 3. And my gut says that this will probably be the last batter for Noah Lafine. His command really having wavered. Now 4 straight balls, the hit by pitch, and the 3-0 count on Hunter. Be surprised to see Hunter take the bat off his shoulder here. He does not. Takes a strike from Lafine. All these pitches in this plate appearance, including the strike, low and away to the right-handed hitter. And the 3-1 right there as well for strike 2. So Hunter taking until he gets to 2 strikes, which given Lafine's command issues here today, a couple hit by pitches, 2 walks as well, not necessarily surprising. Now the 3-2. Hunter swings through it, strike 3. So you go from behind 3-0, as Noah Lafine was, to striking out Grant Hunter. And now a double play ball gets you out of the jam. Flyboys had 2 on, nobody out in the second and did not score. Cameron Kim digging in. The only Flyboys batter yet to reach today. 0 for 2. He struck out looking with 2 on, nobody away in the first. Flew out in the second. First pitch to him. Breaking ball misses low and away from Lafine. Now over 80 pitches on the night. Elsewhere around the Appy League, Johnson City leading the Bluefield Ridge Runners 8-3 in the top of the 6th. That game is in Bluefield. Burlington Sock Puppets up over Danville 7-1. 1-0. Kim lines this one toward the left center or right center field gap. That ball is down, cut off by Rodriguez, the right fielder. Miller scores from second base. Kim diving into second base safely. He's got an RBI double. Hit to the opposite gap, and the Flyboys extend their lead. It's now 4-0 here in the top of inning number 4.
Left fielder Michael Jordan.
Kim getting his first hit in a Greenville Flyboys uniform. It's an RBI double to the right center field gap. Now second and third. Still only 1 away in the inning, and the batter, Micah Jordan. Lafine's pitch chopped to the right side. This will score the run. The throw to first is in time. But on the play, Tyler Inge crosses home plate, and Cameron Kim moves from second to third base. Flyboys add 1 on the RBI ground out from Micah Jordan. And it's now 5-0 here in the 4th. Jordan has doubled his RBI total on the season here tonight with a pair of runs batted in. And the batter now Lane Akers. Man at third, 2 away. Akers takes inside. Burlington leading the Danville Otterbots 7-1 in the 6th. The Otterbots beginning this season 1-7. Not at all the start that the defending champs were looking for. 1-0 is fouled back. Kingsport up 4-1 over Elizabethton in the bottom of the 4th. Pulaski shutting out Bristol. The State Liners trailing at home 6-0 halfway through the 4th inning. One the count on Akers. Kim at third base. The pitch, low and away. LaFine at 86 pitches now. Assuming he gets this batter, I think Tommy Gregg, the Tri-State manager, will take the ball from LaFine after 4 full innings. 2-1, misses inside. 3-1 now the count on Lane Akers. The Marshall Thundering Herd also playing here. One of their notable alumni, Dan Straley, who had a 7-year Major League career. Led the majors in starts in 2017. He started 33 games. LaFine misses outside. It's a 5-pitch walk issued to Lane Akers. Still no movement in the Tri-State dugout. Runners on the corners, 2 away. LaFine set to face Brady Francisco, who is taking his shin guards off in the on-deck circle, now coming to the plate. Francisco 1 for 2 today. Picked up his first hit back in the 1st inning. If he can pick up another knock, he'll add his first RBI of the season. Runners on the corners, 2 down. Flyboys up 5-0 with 2 home already in this inning. First pitch to Francisco, low and away. LaFine now. His next pitch will be his 90th pitch of the night. Through just 3 2/3. LaFine has allowed 5 earned runs, 6 runs in total. He's only walked 3, but he's also hit a couple batters as well. Now the 1-0. Francisco takes, low and outside. And all these pitches to these right-handed hitters in the Flyboys order missing low and away, which I think tells you it's usually a sign of fatigue if a pitcher is missing a lot in the same spot. 2-0 pitch at the knees for a strike to Francisco. It usually means that something is lacking mechanically, which often happens when a pitcher gets tired. Thinking that that's probably the case here for Noah LaFine. 2-1. Francisco lifts it in the air to right. Rodriguez backed up, now gets a read. Coming in towards the line, makes the catch, and that ends the inning. But it's a productive top of the 4th for the Flyboys. They add 2 more runs and go to the bottom of inning number 4, leading the Tri-State Coldcats 5-0 here on the Greenville Flyboys Baseball Network. Welcome back to Jack Cook Field, where the Greenville Flyboys lead the Tri-State Coldcats 5-0, entering the bottom of inning number 4. Colin Adams' day is done, the Flyboys starter. 3 scoreless innings, 1 hit, 4 walks, 4 strikeouts for the lefty. He gives way to another lefty, Garrett McCowiak, on for Greenville. McCowiak out of Georgia Southern. McCowiak last pitched on Monday against the Bluefield Ridge Runners. And that was a game where the Ridge Runners tagged him for both of their runs on the night. McCowiak, a pair of hit by pitches. He hit both men who came in to score, and the scoring was done on a pair of RBI doubles by the Ridge Runners. He'll try to clean things up here tonight, facing Julio Soler, followed by Sam Winsett and Ryan Maggie. 6, 7, 8 in the Tri-State order, and he begins by missing up and away to Julio Soler. McCowiak back on the rubber. And now the 1-0 offering on the way. Soler takes, again, up and away for ball 2. We were talking about it earlier, about how the Tri-State Coldcats alternate lefty-righty pretty much up and down their entire lineup. But McCowiak will begin his outing by facing back-to-back right-handed hitters. The only consecutive hitters to bat from the same side in this Tri-State order. The lefty, Ryan Maggie, due up third. 2-1 after a fastball gets the call. Makowiak nods his head. The overhead wind and the 2-1. Swing and a miss by Julio Soler. He was trying to put that one on the roof of the clubhouse beyond the left field fence. But now he'll have to protect with the count even at 2-2. Makowiak working from the third base side of the rubber. The old school overhead windup, the 2-2. Off-speed pitch misses away. Count has run full on Soler. A patient hitter, he walked his first time up. Fielding struggles have been a problem for the Tri-State Coalcats here today. Payoff pitch. Soler takes inside, ball 4. His second walk in as many trips, and the batter, Sam Winsett. The Coalcats have committed now 3 errors in 4 innings. The Flyboys have scored 2 runs off of those errors. And you hear coaches at all levels talk about it, the free bases, whether it's walks, hit by pitches, errors. Anytime you give the opposing team extra chances, you're not doing yourself any favors defensively. First pitch to Winsett, hit on the ground sharply. Ainge, a backhanded stop. Jump throw from the shallow outfield, safe. Runner moving up to third. The throw there. I think they're calling, I don't know what they're calling. Are they calling interference? It looked like the throw beat the runner across the diamond from first to third. The shortstop, Cameron Kim, over there in the place of Tyler Inge, made a jump throw from the outfield grass. It's an infield hit. It looks like the throw beat Soler to third base, the throw from Lane Akers. The umpire, the home plate umpire, was there to make the call. He called time before he made a call on the runner at third. It looked like he was out on the tag, but that was not the signal. It was time called, and then the umpire pointed to second and then to third and said the runner at third was safe. So it's an infield hit for Sam Winsett. Jack Wilson wants an explanation. The Flyboys manager talking to home plate umpire Markel Hastings. Wilson now headed back to the dugout. Brady Francisco has his helmet off, and I think one of his shin guards came off there. It looks like he's missing his left shin guard. It's sitting in front of him. He's kneeling in the left-handed batter's box. I'm not entirely sure what happened. We'll see. Honestly, I think the shortstop, Cameron Kim, playing in his first game at shortstop for the Flyboys here tonight, I think Kim would have been better off keeping that one in his pocket, trying to make that Derek Jeter-esque jump throw. But Winsett, hustling down the line, was able to beat that throw to first, and because Kim made that long, high-arcing throw from shallow left across to first base, that allowed Soler to alertly get up from second to third. The throw across the diamond from Akers was just a tick late, I guess. It looked pretty good from here. But the home plate umpire, Markel Hastings, who was out at third to make the call there, called for time. I think it might have been because Francisco lost his shin guard. But again, I'm not entirely sure. Francisco now fixing his shin guard on his left leg. Runners on the corners here. Nobody out in the bottom of the fourth. The Flyboys leading the Coalcats 5-0, but Tri-State threatening here. As to the plate is the left-handed hitting third baseman, Ryan Maggie. I think Francisco is good to go. He's back in the catcher's box, and stepping in is Maggie. The Coalcats have left 5 runners on base through the first 3 innings. With runners on the corners and nobody out, they've got a golden opportunity to cut into this 5-run deficit. Makowiak, he's ready. First pitch to Maggie, a swing and a miss on a slider. Had him well out in front of that off-speed pitch below the zone. The count 0-1. Makowiak looking for the strikeout here to keep the runners where they are at first and third. The lefty throws over to first, and the runner there, Winsett back standing. Sam Winsett 3 for 4 stealing bases this season. Second on the team for Tri-State. We'll see how aggressive he is here. A short lead at first. And the 0-1. Taken low and away. Makowiak tried to get the chase on that off-speed pitch once again. Walks have been a problem for Flyboys pitchers early this season. They lead the league in strikeout rate at over 13 strikeouts per 9 innings. And somebody hit a button they weren't supposed to hit in the booth. That's not exactly very convenient. Makowiak delivers a strike. You might have heard the SportsCenter sound effect there coming through as Makowiak was delivering the pitch. And the hitter, Ryan Maggie, looked at the booth as if to say, hey, man, you serious? Now the 1-2 outside. And for a lot of baseball fans, I think a moment like that comes to mind was back when J.J. Poots was pitching for the Arizona Diamondbacks. This must have been about 10 years ago. Poots was on the mound pitching at Chase Field in Arizona. Runner goes, the 2-2 to Maggie. Strike 3 called, throw down to second. In on a hop, he's safe. Kim picks it up and pump fakes to get the runner to move back to third base. Maggie down on strikes. It's a stolen base for Sam Winsett, his 4th of the season. 1 away. Runners at second and third for Christian Resendez, the number 9 hitter. Resendez hitless on the young season, now 0 for 20 with 9 strikeouts. But J.J. Poots was on the mound in Arizona for the Diamondbacks. Mid-delivery, somebody hit the button to start Kickstart My Heart by Motley Crue over the PA. Resendez takes outside. And Poots, mid-delivery, had no choice but to spike the ball into the ground. There was no pitch. Just an unfortunate moment for whoever was controlling the Arizona Diamondbacks jukebox that day. 1-0. Resendez takes high. The first time I heard that, I saw that gaffe. I thought that it was just a sound malfunction, like somebody had unplugged something halfway and there was a feedback sound coming through. I don't think I had heard Kickstart My Heart by Motley Crue when I first saw that moment unfold. Resendez takes high, ball 3 from Makowiak. So I thought that, oh, something just broke in the booth, but no, somebody actually hit the button to play a song in the middle of an inning. Just goes to show that it can happen at every level. Last thing you want to do is walk the number 9 hitter, 3-0, and Resendez will take ball 4 upstairs from Makowiak. 2 walks in the inning. And this is exactly what the Colecats are looking for here. A conference on the mound between the infielders and Makowiak, as Brady Francisco gets a new shin guard from Jared Morton, the pitching coach, who I think may join this conversation. He does. So Francisco going for a quick pit stop. Bases loaded for the top of the order. Salmoneo due up. Looking to get the Colecats on the board here in the home half of inning number 4. Flyboys leading 5-0 here on the Greenville Flyboys Baseball Network. Quick check on some scores around Major League Baseball. 2 games in progress right now. The D-backs up over the Padres 3-1 in Arizona. And the Red Sox leading the Yankees 2-0 at Fenway. A lot of day games today. Notables, the Reds, 11-1 winners over the Tigers in Detroit. The Braves 4-1 over the Rockies in Atlanta. And the Cubs 2-1 over the Pirates in Chicago. Cardinals beating the Brewers 8-5. Later on tonight, Dodgers, Giants, and Seattle Mariners hosting the Cleveland Guardians. Both of those games getting underway in just about an hour. So after the mound visit, Brady Francisco has a new shin guard. To the plate, Sal Mineo. 1 for 2 on the night, hitting in a big spot here. The center fielder out of Ohio State, batting with the bases loaded and 1 away, trying to get his team on the board. Makowiak looking for a double play. The infielders are all playing back, anticipating that double play. Diaz creeps in, anticipating the bunt. First pitch to Mineo, a check swing, strike 1. Kowiak getting him to fish below the zone there. The sun has all but set here in Huntington, West Virginia. We had some rain before first pitch that pushed the start time back by about 10 minutes. That rain is gone. Now a ball trickles out of the bullpen, so time is called before the 0-1. Kowiak peering in, looking for the ground ball here. Lefty-lefty matchup. And the 0-1. Minio takes strike 2. Great spot for that fastball there from Kowiak, right on the inside corner to the left-handed batter. A strikeout or a ground ball hit right at somebody would be huge here. And I think we just saw lightning beyond left field as the 0-2 swung on fouled back. I thought I saw lightning behind the left field wall. There's a mountain that way. There was a brief flash of something in the sky. I don't think there's any threat of rain, although as I look at the weather app, there's a chance of light rain in 15 minutes, so obviously somebody's a fool here. Rain's been a problem. We were rained out after 3 innings last night. Mentioned the rain that pushed back the start of this game. So if the Flyboys can get this through 5 and still have the lead, that would be great. 0-2 to Minio, misses upstairs. As of now, we're in the bottom of the 4th, so we would need a quick top of the 5th, assuming Kowiak gets out of this jam in short order, and then the Colecats to score 4 runs or fewer in the bottom of the 5th to make the game official and give the Flyboys a rain-shortened win. 1-2. Minio fouls it off. He checked his swing. That pitch was well inside, and it hit off the handle. And I was playing meteorologist last night here on the Greenville Flyboys Baseball Network. As we look at the weather right now, it looks like it might just be a brief pop-up shower starting not in 10 minutes, but starting in 39 minutes, rather. I swear, this is the loudest PA system I've ever heard in my life. Especially considering the amount of fans that are here. You do not need to blow their eardrums off, I promise you. 1-2. Minio fouls it off. I could probably count the amount of fans that are here, actually. I'm going to guess it's about maybe 200. The PA feels like it's really, really loud. The speakers here are massive, hanging along the concourse. I think it's actually that the speakers are too big for the size of the stadium. This venue, including standing room, seats 3,500, but I think in terms of actual seats that you can fold down and sit in, it's closer to around maybe 1,500 just by eyeballing it. Feels like Bart Kaufman Field in Bloomington, Indiana, which seats, off the top of my head, 2,500, has more seats than this stadium does, but it does not have as much standing room capacity. 7th pitch of the AB, Kowiak to Sal Minio. The pitch swung on and missed in the dirt. Francisco finds it underneath him, and the out is recorded with the bases loaded. That is a big second out as Kowiak gets Sal Minio to strike out swinging. Walk, single, strikeout, walk, strikeout here. If you like 3 true outcomes baseball, this has been the inning for you. Bases loaded, 2 away. The Colecats trailing by 5, but still threatening as Cesar Gonzalez comes to the plate. Entered this game batting 5 for 11 on the young campaign, but 0 for 2 tonight. A ground out and a fly out. Forced play at every base here as Kowiak looks to get out of the bases loaded jam. And the first pitch to Gonzalez. Swung on, fouled right back at me, and it hits the window right above my head. Instinctively, I reached up for that one, much like I did when Ben Haller out on Cape Cod, I think opening night for them was a couple days ago, calling games for the Falmouth Commodores. Ben Haller and I were in Omaha calling the Big Ten tournament last year. Foul ball came right through the window, and it landed on the floor at my feet. 0-1 to Gonzalez, misses low and in. And I'm trying to remember who hit that foul ball. As I flip my scorebook back, I believe it was Gabe Swanson, the Nebraska left fielder that day. He went 0 for 4, so I probably did well by not asking him to sign it after the game. Josh Karen, who is now playing pro ball, hit a 3-run homer. 1-1. Gonzalez, a sharp ground ball through into left center field for a base hit. 2 runs will score. The throw comes in from Hunter to third base, and it is cut off there. It's a 2-run base hit off the bat of Cesar Gonzalez. And the Coldcats are on the board here in the 4th inning. It's now 5-2. The Flyboys lead shrinking. That ball was stung just past the shortstop, Cameron Kim. Soler scores from third base. Sam Winsett follows him home from second. Christian Resendez moves first to third on the play. That'll probably be a single and a fielder's choice. I can't imagine they give him a double on that. They don't. Sometimes you'll see the home scorer give him a double, but no. A single, and advancing to second on the throw is Gonzalez. The batter, Bishop Quarles. Lefty-lefty matchup as Quarles becomes the 7th Coldcats hitter to the plate in this inning. Second and third for him here, 2 gone. Quarles goes fishing in the dirt, strike 1. That one of those pitches where you're thinking, this guy's going to try to get ahead on me 0-1, and I'm swinging regardless, and Quarles just couldn't hold up. A big first pitch strike there for Garrett Makowiak. And now he comes back with the 0-1. Quarles hits it a mile high to shallow right center. 3 Flyboys defenders converging, and it's the center fielder, Grant Hunter, who makes the catch to retire the side. After 4 innings, the Coldcats get a pair back, and the Flyboys still lead 5-2 here on the Greenville Flyboys Baseball Network. Top of the 5th coming up here from Jack Cook Field. Flyboys leading the Tri-State Coldcats 5-2 here on the Greenville Flyboys Baseball Network. Nick Rotocap with you. Thanks for spending your Saturday evening with us as the Flyboys look to get back in the win column. For the first time in a week, although they've had a couple rainouts in that time span, so it's not entirely fair. The Flyboys have lost their last 3 games. But looking to change that here tonight. Aiden Seitz is on out of the bullpen for the Coldcats as we begin inning number 5. The day is done for Coldcats starter Noah Lafine. 4 innings, 5 runs, 3 of which were earned on 7 hits. He walked 3 and struck out 4. Aiden Seitz out of West Virginia Potomac State. And he'll face, not 5, 6, 7, I should say, 7, 8, 9 in the Flyboys order, beginning with a lefty-lefty matchup as Reed Hare steps to the plate. First pitch from Seitz, a called strike on the outside corner to Reed Hare. Seitz has spent 2 years at West Virginia Potomac State, pitching in 25 games. Next pitch misses low and away. 25 appearances, 9 starts, 71 in a third innings, and a 4.54 ERA. 89 strikeouts in 71 innings. Hare takes strike 2. And Hare asks for time before the 1-2 pitch. Also a pair of saves and a complete game for Aiden Seitz, so he can do it all. Ahead 1-2, the wind and the pitch. Hare checks his swing. The fastball misses high. Seitz, a lanky left-handed pitcher. Standing at 6'3", originally out of Falling Waters, Virginia. 2-2, swung on and missed, and he gets Reed Hare on strikes to begin the top of inning number 5. Second time Hare has been punched out today. The batter now A.J. Diaz, who picked up his first hit of the season back in the first inning tonight. The southpaw Seitz back to work. First pitch hit in the air to right field. Rodriguez camped under it. Makes the catch, and it's a quick out, number 2. Rodriguez has been busy out there in right field. He threw out Grant Hunter back in the second inning. That was Hunter diving back to first base on a flyout. He's also recorded 3 separate outs. Now the pitch. Missing low and in to Peyton Miller. He squared the bunt, pulled back. The third baseman, Maggie, charging in on the grass. It's interesting, the live stats say it's Casey Proctor on the mound. Proctor, though, wears the number 48, and as far as I can tell, 32 does not look much like 48. Miller fouls it away, and the count 1-1. I'm going to go with my gut and say that the guy whose number matches the number listed on the roster is the guy who's on the mound. 1-1. Miller takes strike 2 on the inside corner, shaking his head a little bit. He didn't like that call. But we've talked about it throughout the early innings here. It's been a very pitcher-friendly strike zone called by Markel Hastings. Seitz looking for a 1-2-3 inning. Miller pops it foul behind home plate. Flyboys leading 5-2. Colecats playing the field here in the top of the 5th. Got that rain moving in about half an hour. It looks like we'll be able to get this to at least 5 innings. It's an all-turf field here on the campus of Marshall University. So rain isn't as much of a concern as it would be if this was a natural grass field. Although the rain came down so fast last night, and we were washed out in that one. Seitz ready. Now the 1-2. Miller gets jammed, hits a weak roller up along first. Taps his bat a couple times, makes sure it's not broken. It'll be pitch number 6 of the at-bat coming up here. Checking elsewhere around the Appy League. 4 other games in progress as Miller takes low and in. Seitz started walking off the mound thinking it was strike 3. Burlington now comfortably ahead of Danville, 11-2 in the top of the 7th. Johnson City leading Bluefield 8-5 in the home half of the 7th. Seitz bounces the 2-2 to the plate, and Miller's worked it back full. Pulaski up 7-1 over Bristol in the bottom of the 5th. Kingsport and Elizabethton 7-2 in favor of the Axemen at the halfway mark. Full count on Miller with the top of the order on deck. The payoff pitch. Low for ball 4. It's a good at-bat there by Peyton Miller. Aboard for the second time in 3 plate appearances tonight. And now Tyler Inge to the plate. For the 4th time in 5 innings, I suspect that he has probably used most of the ice in the Flyboys dugout. He's been hit by a pitch twice tonight, both on his elbow guard, facing the lefty Seitz for the first time. The pitch. Inge takes a strike. He's scored in 2 out of 3 trips after having reached all 3 times, has Tyler Inge. Miller leading off of first base. The pitch. Inge takes inside. Peyton Miller hitting just 190 on the season, but he's been productive. That's his 6th walk. And this just the Flyboys' 7th game of the year. Two quick outs to start the inning for Seitz, but the 2-out walk to Miller, and now a 1-1 count on Tyler Inge. The pitch. Taken right on the inside black. A great fastball there from Seitz, and the count 1-2. College World Series action. LSU still ahead of Arkansas, 3-1 in the bottom of the 6th. In the nightcap on day 2 in Omaha. Seitz looking to strand the man at first. He fires. Inge takes inside. It gets away from Gonzalez. And that allows Peyton Miller to move up to second base. Looks like Gonzalez was set up on the outer half of the plate there. And Tyler Inge let that one go by. It looked like Gonzalez maybe got crossed up. So now a man in scoring position for Tyler Inge after the wild pitch. And the 2-2. Inge wraps one on the ground to third. Diving stop made by Maggie. To his feet. He keeps it in his pocket. No throw. It's an infield hit for Tyler Inge, and moving up to third base is Peyton Miller. Maggie, the third baseman, tried to tag Miller as he dove into third base, but the play was well late there. Miller's in there. An infield hit for Tyler Inge, who has now reached all 4 times here tonight. So another golden opportunity for the Flyboys to add to their 5-2 lead. 2 away here in the top of the 5th, and the batter, Grant Hunter. Lefty-righty matchup. Hunter swings and misses at the first pitch. Hunter, 1 for 2 on the day, a single, a walk, and a run scored. The 0-1. Hunter fouls it back. He had a big swing of the bat earlier this week, did Grant Hunter. 2-run homer against the Bluefield Ridge Runners. And the Flyboys' first 2-game road swing of the season. See if he can do something here in the second road trip of the year. The 0-2. Hunter swings and misses for strike 3. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Aiden Seitz. Works around some 2-out trouble, and we are halfway home here from Jack Cook Field. Flyboys still leading the Tri-State Coalcats 5-2 on the Greenville Flyboys Baseball Network. A correction as we begin the bottom of the 5th. See, you would think that the pitcher who's wearing the number on the roster is the pitcher on the mound. For example, if a pitcher is wearing number 32 on the roster and the pitcher on the mound is wearing number 32, that the pitcher who wears number 32 on the roster would be number 32 on the mound, but that is not the case. It was Casey Proctor on the mound in the top of the 5th for the Coalcats, not Aiden Seitz, which is weird because Aiden Seitz wears number 32, and the pitcher on the mound was wearing number 32, but I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something. I'm not sure. Braxton Lewis on out of the bullpen for the Flyboys. The umpire's talking things over with one of the Tri-State personnel. Now they're explaining things to Tri-State in the third base dugout, and they're walking over now to the first base dugout, and they're saying, hey, everybody, go to your dugouts, and we are going to have our 3rd rain delay in 2 days. So that is what I thought was going to happen. This game will not be made up this weekend, and I am assuming, again, this is not official, but I am assuming that because we do not visit Tri-State again, that the Flyboys will make up the final innings of this game, which has been suspended in the middle of the 5th with the Flyboys leading 5-2. The Flyboys will finish that game when Tri-State comes to Greenville in the middle of July. Hello and welcome to Pioneer Park in Greenville, Tennessee, on the campus of Tusculum University, where the Greenville Flyboys are getting set to conclude a suspended game against the Tri-State Coalcats and then play a 7-inning nightcap to close this Thursday doubleheader. Nick Rodecap with you here on the Flyboys Baseball Network. Thanks so much for joining us. The Flyboys are in a tough spot right now. Greenville lost in very difficult fashion yesterday against the Kingsport Axemen, surrendering a 4-run 9th-inning lead and losing 7-6, surrendering a full game to the Axemen, who now hold a 2-game advantage atop the West Division. The Flyboys taking on the Tri-State Coalcats, team 2 of 3 coming into town for this week-long homestand. Greenville and Tri-State played a 3-game series at the home of the Coalcats in Huntington, West Virginia in the middle of June. That was 30-plus days ago. This game that we will resume tonight was played, the first half of it, on June 14th. That was 33 days ago. Tonight, it will be finished here at Pioneer Park. So we're about 4 hours southwest of Huntington, West Virginia, and 33 days removed from when this game began. There are some lineup changes for both teams, and of course we will have new pitchers on the mound for both sides. Because this game began at Tri-State, the Coalcats are the designated home team for this game, even though it is being played at Pioneer Park. So we will give you the lineup first for the visiting Greenville Flyboys. The Flyboys are the designated road team, but because we will pick up this game in the bottom of the 5th, they will play the field first. The Flyboys are managed by Jack Wilson, and they will be led off by Tyler Inge. He's the designated hitter in this game. Grant Hunter began the game in center field. He shifts over to right field. Cameron Kim remains as the shortstop. Ezra McNaughton takes over for Micah Jordan in left field. Dylan Jackson takes over for Lane Akers at first base. Brady Francisco remains as the catcher. Reed Hare moves from right field to center field, batting 7th. A.J. Diaz remains at third base, batting 8th. And Peyton Miller keeps his spot, batting 9th, playing second base. The Tri-State Coalcats are managed by Tommy Gregg, and Tri-State has a few lineup changes here as we conclude this suspended game tonight. Luke Costco takes over for Sal Minio. Costco playing left field and leading off. Cesar Gonzalez is the catcher. Bishop Corliss shifts from left to center field. Chandler Murray remains at first base, batting cleanup. Demir Heidelberg takes over for Michael Rodriguez in right field. Julio Soler is the second baseman, batting 6th. Sam Winsett stays as the designated hitter. Ryan Maggie is at third base, batting 8th. And Ty Smolinski takes over for Christian Resendez. Smolinski is the shortstop, batting 9th. Because the Flyboys will play the field first, we'll give you the information on their pitcher. It's J.D. Hay. The right-hander gets the ball to resume this game. Hay will take over with the Flyboys leading 5-2 in the bottom of the 5th. He'll be making his 10th appearance of the season. Hay has been a reliever for Greenville all season long, so this will be a little bit of a unique spot for him because you approach this preparation as though you are starting the game. It'll be interesting to see how Hay handles that. On the mound for Tri-State, another reliever, Mason Sylvestre gets the ball for the Coalcats as we finish out the final 4.5 innings of this suspended game. Hay will face Chandler Murray, Demir Heidelberg, and Julio Soler in the middle third of this Tri-State order. The Flyboys entering this game, Greenville is 18-15, 4-9 in the month of July, and the Flyboys have won just one game at home. If they were to win this game, they would win it as the road team, so that would not go in the ledger as a home win. But the Flyboys are now actually better on the road than they are at home this season. 9-7 on the road, looking to improve that to 10-7 with a win here in Game 1 of this doubleheader, and 9-8 at home. Greenville, second place in the West, entering tonight, 2 games behind Kingsport. Johnson City lurks 5.5 back of first place. Elizabethton is 6 games out, and Bristol is 7.5 games behind. We are less than 2 weeks away from the end of the regular season. Tri-State last in the East, 7 games behind Bluefield and Burlington, who are tied at the top. Pulaski is a game back in third, and Danville is 6 games behind. So it will not be Luke Costco leading off. It'll be Chandler Murray. He is the cleanup hitter. He was the batter due up when this game was suspended. And we will set the lineups because a lot has changed since the Flyboys and Coalcats last squared off in this game. First pitch breaking ball from J.D. Hay misses in the dirt to the right-handed hitter Chandler Murray. And we are underway at 5:33. Brady Francisco remains as the catcher for the Flyboys. That is unchanged. A.J. Diaz at third base, Cameron Kim at shortstop, and Peyton Miller at second were also there when this game was suspended. Chandler Murray takes a strike from J.D. Hay, and the count is 1-1. Dylan Jackson takes over for Lane Akers at first base. Akers was supposed to retake his post out there, but a late scratch for him. Here's the 1-1. Murray pops it foul behind home plate off the screen. Ezra McNaughton is in left field, replacing Micah Jordan. Reed Hare and Grant Hunter swap places. Hunter is in center, or excuse me, Hunter began the game in center. He's now in right field. Reed Hare is in the middle. 1-2 on Chandler Murray. Here's the pitch from Hay. He spikes a fastball, and it's 2-2. Tri-State mentioned that the Coalcats are in last place in the East. But on the road, the Coalcats are the best offensive team in the league, and it's really not even close. Tri-State has a team OPS over 850 on the road. Here's the 2-2. Murray takes up and in. Hay has run the count full. Now, Tri-State at overall is 6th in the league with an OPS of 737. But on the road, 1 point shy of 850 entering tonight. 849. That is first in the league by over 30 points. 3-2 on Murray. Here's the payoff. He swings through a changeup, and that's strike 3. So J.D. Hay strikes out Murray. Murray is now 0 for 3 in this game. Went fishing on a changeup there. J.D. Hay will now face Demir Heidelberg. He's the number 5 hitter in this Cats order. First pitch. Right-handed batter hits a high fly ball to deep left field. Ezra McNaughton gives it a look, but that ball is gone. Heidelberg playing in just his 4th game of the season for the Cats has brought them a run closer. It's 5-3 in the bottom of the 5th. He attacked a first pitch fastball right there and did not miss it. It's his first hit in a Tri-State uniform this season. Heidelberg wasn't even on the roster when this game began, and he's already made an impact in its resumption. So Heidelberg, he's the right fielder in this game. Heidelberg out of Homewood, Illinois. He just finished his high school career and is committed to Eastern Michigan. Put a good swing on that first pitch from J.D. Hay. The batter now is Julio Soler. Right-handed batter takes inside for ball 1. Hay comes back. Here's a line drive toward right field. Grant Hunter diving and making the catch to take away a hit from Julio Soler. Hunter got a good read on that ball. And he put his body on the line, made the catch, sprawling out on the outfield grass in right. That's the second out here in the bottom of the 5th inning. So the Flyboys now lead Tri-State 5-3 after the homer by Demir Heidelberg. And with the bases empty and 2 out in the 5th, it's Sam Winsett's turn to hit, another right-handed batter. Here's the pitch from Hay. Fastball misses up and in. It's a very unique situation. This is the first time that we've gone over a month between starting and finishing a game, and hopefully it's the last. The 1-0 is a slider that misses low from Hay. It will be the last because we do not have a month's more of games to play in this Appy League season. But this game was suspended 33 days ago, and we've had a lot of roster shakeups on both sides since then. Winsett takes in the dirt, and it's 3-0. But Winsett was part of the 4th inning Tri-State rally when this game began. Here's the 3-0 pitch. Winsett takes a fastball at the knees. Tri-State scored both of its runs in the 4th inning of that game. The Flyboys scored 3 in the 1st and then 2 more in the 4th. Here's the 3-1. Winsett takes another strike at the knees, and the count is full. Hay with a couple of fastballs there. But Greenville, only 3 of its 5 runs were earned in that game. Tri-State has committed 3 errors. The Flyboys had a couple as well. Here's the payoff. Winsett lifts one down the line in right field. Grant Hunter sprinting over. That ball is foul onto the warning track. We had some thunderstorms roll through Greenville in the afternoon hours, and they dumped a lot of water on the field, especially on the warning track. So they were working on it, dragging the dirt, pouring a lot of Diamond Dry, trying to get this field into playable shape, and they were able to do so. You can still see the wet spots on the track. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Winsett takes strike 3 on the outside corner. Hay strikes out Winsett on the changeup, but Tri-State gets one back, and we are on to the top of the 6th. Again, Tri-State is the designated home team in this game, even though we are now at Pioneer Park. The Flyboys lead the Cats 5-3 on the Greenville Flyboys Baseball Network. Welcome back to Pioneer Park. We are getting set for the top of the 6th inning in the resumption of this suspended game where the Flyboys lead the Cats 5-3. But Greenville is the designated road team because this game began in Huntington, West Virginia over a month ago. It'll be Cameron Kim, Ezra McNaughton, and Dylan Jackson due up here. 3, 4, 5 in the Greenville order, facing Mason Sylvester. Sylvester, a right-hander, a native of Virginia Beach, plays his college ball at Bryant and Stratton Junior College. A right-handed reliever getting the start, I use air quotes on that, here at Pioneer Park this afternoon. Cameron Kim takes low and away, and it's ball 1 to the Flyboys shortstop. Kim had just joined the Flyboys when they played their series at Tri-State. We were able to get 2 of 3 games in there. 1-0 to Kim as a strike at the knees. But we had a couple games suspended. The weather in Huntington was not very kind to the Flyboys when they visited. We had Friday's game suspended after 3 innings and pushed to Sunday, which is why this game is being resumed here, because you can't play multiple doubleheaders in a week. The 1-1 to Kim misses inside from the right-hander Sylvester. Mentioned that walks have been a problem for Sylvester this season. 25 walks in 11 2/3 innings for the right-hander. An interesting uniform matchup to begin this doubleheader. 2-1 on Kim. Here's the pitch. Kim hits a hard ground ball back up the middle. That is through for a leadoff single. Kim is now 2 for 4 in this game, though I feel like he doesn't really have that RBI double he hit in the 4th inning on his mind too much. Ezra McNaughton had 2 RBIs before this game was suspended. He'll dig in now, replacing Micah Jordan, who was originally in left field when this game started. But McNaughton has gone on quite the tear over the last 33 days. He hit his league-leading 11th homer last night. McNaughton stepping in. Right on left, Kim leads off first. And here's the pitch. A fastball that misses high from the righty Sylvester. McNaughton, 37 RBIs now, though the league leader, Cam Durnan, is up to 40 after he hit a go-ahead 2-run single in Kingsport's win over Greenville last night. Here's the 1-0. McNaughton takes a strike on the low outside corner. Cesar Gonzalez is the catcher for Tri-State. Ryan Maggie is at third base. Ty Smolinski is the shortstop. Julio Soler at second, and Chandler Murray is holding the runner on at first. Here's the 1-1. McNaughton takes low and outside from Sylvester. Luke Costco is in left field. Bishop Corliss in center, and Debiel Heidelberg is in right field. McNaughton stepping back in. Sylvester is ready. Here's the, before the 2-1, I should say, a pickoff move to first. Kim dives back in safely. That is something to keep an eye on in both the continuation of the suspended game and then the 7-inning game that we'll play after this. These are 2 teams that love to run and control the running game. The 2-1 to McNaughton misses up and away, ball 3. These teams have thrown out, on a percentage basis, more base runners trying to steal than any other 2 teams in the league. The Flyboys lead the league with 79 stolen bases. Tri-State is second with 72. Here's the 3-1. McNaughton takes outside. That's ball 4. 2 on, nobody out. We're in the top of the 6th. The Flyboys leading 5-3. And the batter is Dylan Jackson. Jackson getting his first at-bat of this game.
Number 15, Dylan Jackson.
Lane Akers was originally the first baseman when this game began, but Jackson takes over for him here this afternoon. Sylvester in a tough spot. Here's the first pitch to Jackson. A breaking ball that misses outside to the right-handed batter. And the thing about baseball is you've got to have a very short memory because either things go very badly or they go very well, but it all resets the very next day when you come back to the ballpark. For the Flyboys, things did not go their way yesterday. Jackson takes a strike, and the count is 1-1. But the Flyboys looked like they were going to draw even in the season series and split the final 2 games that they played against Kingsport. Here's the pitch. Jackson takes low, and it's 2-1. But Kingsport rallied to score 6 runs in the top of the 9th, erasing a 4-run deficit and ultimately winning 7-6. Ezra McNaughton hit a home run in the bottom of the inning, but that was a leadoff homer, so Kingsport was not threatened too much. Here's the 1-2. Jackson takes inside. I should say now the count is 3-1. The last 2 pitches have both missed from Sylvest. Tri-State entering this one 7 games back in the Appy League East. Bluefield and Burlington are tied at the top of the standings, both of them with 21 wins. Jackson takes outside. That's ball 4, and the bases are loaded. The pitch got to the backstop, but it didn't matter because the runners were forced to move up. Bases loaded, nobody out. We're in the top of the 6th with Greenville leading 5-3. And the batter is Brady Francisco.
Now, batting for the Flyboys, number 27, Brady Francisco.
Francisco now hitting .212 on the season, 11 RBIs, and a chance for him to add some more to that total. The infield, the middle infielders are about halfway between normal depth and playing in. Now they back up to double play depth. The corner infielders both in on the grass. Francisco digging in from the right side. Had a hit in the first inning of this game. First pitch. Francisco hits a high fly ball to straightaway right field. Heidelberg camped under it. He makes the catch. Kim tags from third. He'll score without a play. It's a sacrifice fly for Brady Francisco. Greenville gets the run back. It's now 6-3 in the top of the 6th. So Francisco picks up his 12th RBI of the season. And now Reed Hare stepping in. First and second, 1 gone in the top of inning number 6. Again, the Flyboys are the designated road team in this game. They will be the home team for each of the next 2 against Tri-State. A 7-inning game after the conclusion of this one. It'll be half an hour after the final pitch. And then a single 9-inning game tomorrow. Hare takes outside, left-handed batter, ahead in the count 1-0. But Hare second on the Flyboys with 28 RBIs coming into tonight. Sylvest, a look at second. And here's the 1-0. Hare takes downstairs. But the command already proving to be a problem for Sylvest. A couple walks in this inning. Jackson at first and McNaughton at second. Both walked. Kim came around to score after the RBI sac fly from Brady Francisco. Here's the 2-0. Hare takes an outside strike. That pitch looked like it was on the outside chalk, but it's 2-1. The home plate umpire is Denias Johnson here this evening, and James Chestnut is the base umpire. Here's the 2-1. Hare gets hit on the calf, and the bases are loaded. Sylvest yanked a fastball there, and Hare tried to leap out of the way but could not. He'll take a second to collect himself as he gets down to first. Here's A.J. Diaz now. We've seen Diaz more on the mound than in the field lately. He's a two-way player, but he was the starting third baseman when this game began. So after its suspension, he retakes that post. Diaz hitting just 156 with 2 RBIs this season. The catcher, Cesar Gonzalez, went out to have a word with Sylvest, the right-handed pitcher. Bases loaded, 1 away, top of the 6th. The Flyboys leading Tri-State 6-3. And Sylvest is set. Here's the pitch. Diaz takes inside. When this game began, the Flyboys were 4-3 on the season. Tri-State was 4-4. It was very early on. but the standings are still working themselves out. Bristol was at the top of the West. State Liners are now in last. The 1-0. Diaz checks his swing on a slider, and it's 2-0. No chance to appeal that because the base umpire is out beyond the mound, slightly toward the third base side. Gonzalez tried, but Chestnut said he held up. 2-0. Here's the pitch. Diaz takes up and in, and that's ball 3. Sylvestre really struggling to find the strike zone here. Flyboys looking to add to their 3-run lead. They've already answered for the solo homer from Demille Heidelberg in the last half inning. Here's the 3-0. Diaz takes inside, and that forces in a run. Flyboys now leading 7-3. So 3 walks and a hit by pitch in the inning, issued by Sylvestre. And that'll bring Tri-State pitching coach Solomon Torres out of the dugout to have a word with his right-handed pitcher before Peyton Miller steps to the plate. Miller is the 7th Flyboys batter to hit. We're in the top of the 6th. Flyboys, the designated road team in this game. The run rule is in effect. Now we're still well away from that, with Greenville leading by 4. But this is a unique doubleheader because we'll end up playing 11 and a half innings of regulation. We pick this game up in the bottom of the 5th, and then we'll have a 7-inning second game, 30 minutes after the conclusion of this one. So Miller stepping in. Diaz at first, Hare at second, and Dylan Jackson over at third base. Here's the pitch. Miller hits a line drive, caught by Soler, and he throws to first to double off A.J. Diaz and end the inning. Soler barely had to move, reached just above his shoe tops to make that catch, and Diaz was off on contact. He had no chance to get back to first. As we go to the bottom of inning number 6, the Flyboys lead the Coldcats 7-3 on the Greenville Flyboys Baseball Network. Bottom of the 6th here at Pioneer Park. The Flyboys leading Tri-State 7-3. This game was suspended at the halfway point in the middle of the 5th inning over a month ago, with Greenville leading 5-2. Ryan Maggie steps in against J.D. Hay and watches the first pitch miss downstairs. Maggie will be followed by Ty Smolinski and Luke Costco. 8-9-1 due up in the Coldcats order. Maggie takes outside. Left-handed batter ahead in the count 2-0. The Flyboys got 3 in the first inning. An RBI single from Micah Jordan opened the scoring. Here's the 2-0. Maggie hits a pop fly straight up in front of home plate. Brady Francisco throws the mask aside and makes the catch to retire Ryan Maggie. Jordan had an RBI single in the first inning. And the Flyboys added a couple more runs. One on a fielding error by Julio Soler. There was an unearned run in that frame when Greenville scored 3 times. And then Greenville took a 5-0 lead in the 4th. An RBI double from Cameron Kim and a ground out from Jordan. Ty Smolinski takes downstairs from J.D. Hay. And then the Coldcats added a couple in their final trip to the plate before this game was paused. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Smolinski takes a slider for a strike. It was a 2-run single from Cesar Gonzalez. After 3 scoreless innings from lefty Colin Adams, Tri-State got to the Flyboys bullpen. The 1-1-2 Smolinski misses outside. And tagged Garrett Makowiak for a couple of runs as the Coldcats sent 8 to the plate. 2-1 on Smolinski. Here's the pitch. He fouls it away past the third base side. And then Casey Proctor, the lefty, worked a scoreless top of the 5th, and that was when the game was stopped. Now, it's been 33 days. Proctor isn't even on the Tri-State roster anymore, which, again, is not at all uncommon. Here's the 2-2. Smolinski takes up and away, and that's ball 3. Braxton Lewis was ready to come into the game before it was suspended, but Lewis pitched a couple nights ago against Kingsport as a starter, so we are not going to see him tonight. Here's the 3-2. Smolinski pops it foul over the third base dugout, out of play. And for Tri-State, the Coldcats starter Noah Lafine went 4 innings, gave up all 5 runs. Flyboys tagged him for 7 hits. Lafine needed 92 pitches to get through those 4 innings. And because this is still that same game, here's the 3-2. Smolinski takes low. Hay missed with the changeup, and that's ball 4. Because this is the resumption of that game, none of the pitchers who appeared and were pulled, so Adams, Makowiak, and Lafine, with Proctor not on the roster, none of those pitchers can re-enter. So back to the top of the order for Tri-State, but it's not Sal Mineo, it's Luke Costco, and that's a fortunate thing for the Flyboys. Mineo not retaking his position in left or in center field for this game. Mineo is one of the league's best hitters on the road. Costco, a left-handed batter, takes strike 1. That was something that Tri-State did a lot in that series in Huntington, alternating left-handed and right-handed batters. Tri-State with 5 lefties in the lineup here this evening. A throw over to first. Smolinski dives back in safely. Flyboys leading 7-3 with 1 away in the bottom of the 6th. Tri-State looking to cut a little bit closer into this Flyboys lead. Hay is set. Another throw over to first, and again, Smolinski is safe. But Sal Mineo, an average of over 400 and an OPS less than 30 points shy of Ezra McNaughton, who is the league's best hitter on the road. Mineo with a 12.35 on base plus slugging. Here's the 0-1. Mineo takes low. Mentioned in the last half inning that the uniform matchup here tonight is very unique. The Flyboys are wearing their navy tops with Greenville across the front in script red. They've got gray pants as the designated road team. 1-1 on Costco. Here it comes. He takes outside, and it's 2-1. Tri-State also wearing all gray uniforms, not just gray pants, but gray tops for them as well, with Tri-State across the front in black, outlined in green. Here's the 2-1. Costco takes low again, and it's ball 3. It's a unique uniform matchup for sure. The Flyboys will wear their home white uniforms in Game 2 of this doubleheader, and that game will be 7 innings in length, as doubleheaders are in the Appy League. 3-1 to Costco is a cue shot foul into the third base dugout. Over there to barehand it was Bishop Corliss. He's in the hole right now. This is the only game in progress in the Appy League right now. Everybody else getting underway at 7 o'clock. Or at 6:30, as is the case in Bluefield and Elizabethton. 3-2 on Costco. Here's the pitch. Fouled back. Brand new series all across the Appy League. Entering the latter stages in the first of the final 3 weeks in the regular season. Bluefield hosting Bristol in a matchup that you could describe as Coughing Baby versus Hydrogen Bomb. Pickoff move to first. The ball beat him, but Dylan Jackson did not make the catch before applying the tag, so Smolinski is safe. Elizabethton hosting Burlington. The Sock Puppets will be here for 2 games beginning on Saturday. Danville and Johnson City facing off about an hour east of here. Kingsport hosts Pulaski at 7. Swinging another foul back. Costco has seen 7 pitches in this plate appearance. And you're just hoping that for the Flyboys that they are able to bounce back quickly after the tough loss yesterday. Another throw over to first. Smolinski has only stolen 4 bases on 6 attempts this season. And you'd think in a 4-run game, Hay wouldn't be too concerned about him. There's plenty of evidence to the contrary, however. We had a couple run rules last night in the Appy League. Here's another 3-2. Runner goes, it's strike 3. Throw down to second is in time. Smolinski did not slide going into second base. He started jogging as he got close to the bag. It's a strike him out, throw him out double play to end the bottom of the 6th inning. Flyboys still leading 7-3 as we go to the top of inning number 7 on the Greenville Flyboys Baseball Network. Flyboys leading 7-3 over Tri-State as we begin the top of the 7th inning. Tyler Inge, Grant Hunter, and Cameron Kim due up to face Mason Sylvester. Greenville sent 7 to the plate in the 6th inning against the Tri-State reliever. Sylvester looking to settle things down here. Sylvester from the stretch. Inge takes low and inside. The heater missing from the right-hander. Sylvester, a big guy, standing at 6'3", 220 pounds. But he's already thrown 25 pitches. The 1-0. Inge takes in the dirt. Now 26, just 7 strikes for him. He got Peyton Miller to line into a double play to escape a bases-loaded 1-out jam. Flyboys still leading by 4. They led by 3 when this game was suspended, and they needed just 3 outs to make it official. Here's the 2-0. Inge takes outside. But that game did not get past the top of the 5th. And I think hindsight is 20/20, but that game was delayed by 12 minutes because there was a torrential downpour that popped up out of nowhere right before first pitch. Here's the 3-0. And it's in the dirt, and it's ball 4 to Tyler Inge. Already the 4th walk issued by Sylvester. But the game was delayed by 12 minutes, and you think, well, I don't know what Braxton Lewis would have had in store that day, but there's certainly an argument to be made that if we had played through that rain, the game would have been official and it could have been called after 5 innings. But it was not, so we've got to finish it out here. Hunter stepping in. Here's the pitch. Right-handed batter takes in the dirt. 5 straight balls to start the 7th inning from Mason Sylvester. Nobody up in the Tri-State bullpen right now. Hunter came to the plate 4 times in the first 5 innings before that game was suspended. Here's the 1-0. He takes low and in again. The catcher Gonzalez tried to frame it, but that pitch was well off the plate and down. It is, I think, negligible bringing up what happened when these teams met. Here's the 2-0. Hunter takes a breaking ball for a strike on the inside part of the plate. Because again, when this game began, Tri-State and Greenville were separated by half a game. They are now separated by 5 games. The Flyboys still one of the contenders in the West. Tri-State in last place in the East. Here's the 2-1. Hunter gets hit by a breaking ball, and that puts first and second with nobody out for Cameron Kim. The second hit by pitch for Sylvester to go along with 4 walks. Sylvester in trouble once again. Greenville leading 7-3. 2 on, nobody out for Cameron Kim. He began the 6th inning with a single. And even though the Flyboys, they get their walk-up songs, they get the benefit of sleeping in their own beds. They are the road team in this game. When we were in Huntington, here's the pitch to Kim. Breaking ball misses inside. Sylvester almost plunked Kim with that exact same pitch that he hit Hunter with. We were in Huntington and playing at Jack Cook Field, where Marshall University calls home. Here's the 1-0. Kim hits it off the end of the bat, sinking towards shallow right. Heidelberg coming in, has to play it on a couple of bounces. Both runners had to make sure it dropped. Inge is going to try to score from second. The throw is cut off, and Cameron Kim adds another on an RBI single, and the Flyboys lead 8-3 in the 7th. That was a blooper toward the line. Inge and Hunter both had to make sure that it got down. The ball wasn't hit all that hard at all, but Heidelberg had to cover a lot of ground and didn't take the best pursuit angle to that one. So first and third, nobody gone for Ezra McNaughton. Flyboys now leading this one by a score of 8-3. McNaughton in from the left side. Here's the pitch. Outside from Mason Sylvester. Looks like a couple of players moving around now in the Tri-State bullpen. Getting loose down there. Sylvester is ready. And here's the 1-0. McNaughton takes outside. Kim runs for second, and he's in there standing up. No throw from Gonzalez as Kim swipes another bag, his 6th of the season. So now second and third for McNaughton. That brings the corner infielders in with still nobody away in the top of inning number 7. Flyboys looking to add to a 5-run lead. Here's the pitch. McNaughton takes in the dirt, and that's ball 3. Sylvester has thrown 37 pitches, 9 strikes. Tri-State, right about league average, just over 6 walks per 9 innings. Kingsport and Greenville, the only 2 teams under 6 walks per 9. McNaughton takes in the dirt, the second 4-pitch walk of the inning, and the Flyboys have the bases loaded again. First 4 men have all reached consecutively to start this 7th inning, and it's Dylan Jackson's turn. But before Jackson steps in, Cesar Gonzalez, the catcher, and Chandler Murray, the first baseman, go out to talk to Mason Sylvester. Murray out there with his mitt over his mouth, talking to Sylvester. Gonzalez joins the party. The right-hander in the bullpen now playing catch in the Tri-State pen. I suspect he'll be tasked with getting loose pretty quickly here. Because, again, the run rule is in effect, and you figure the Flyboys are keen on getting there, trying to make a statement, especially after the way this homestand has started. A couple tough losses to Kingsport to surrender first place in the West. And now it's out of Greenville's hands. Because if both those teams were to win out, Kingsport would still have home field advantage in the first round of the postseason. Here's the pitch. Jackson pops it up, foul out of play toward the first base side. And it's funny because the stats for this game as they appear on the live play-by-play data are still exactly as they were when these teams began this game. 0-1 on Jackson. Here's the pitch. Misses high. Off-speed offering there from Sylvester. Tough for him so far. 10 strikes on 40 pitches. Jackson looking for something he can drive. Corners in. The base is loaded. Here's the pitch. Jackson gets hit right between the numbers, and that forces in another run. Sylvester has plunked 3. And Grant Hunter will walk on home. He was also hit by a pitch in this inning. Credit Dylan Jackson with his 12th RBI of the season. And now for Tri-State, Tommy Gregg making the slow walk out of the third base dugout. He's going to go out to get Mason Sylvester before Brady Francisco comes to the plate. Sylvester is responsible for all 3 base runners. Jackson at first, McNaughton at second, and Cameron Kim over at third base. Greenville leading Tri-State 9-3 in the top of the 7th, looking to push this game out of reach and start the doubleheader off on a high note here on the Flyboys Baseball Network. Flyboys with the bases loaded here in the top of inning number 7, leading Tri-State 9-3. New right-hander on in place of Mason Sylvester is Daniel McIntosh. McIntosh out of Southern, a native of Douglasville, Georgia. did not play for Southern this past season. He inherits the bases loaded and nobody out. Francisco had a sacrifice fly with the bases loaded last inning. As we conclude this suspended game that began over a month ago, Greenville threatening perhaps a mercy rule win. Leading by 6, the magic number is 10. Here's the pitch. Francisco takes a fastball for a strike from McIntosh. McIntosh standing at 6'3", 180 pounds. He's built almost exactly like me, only I'm pretty sure he's more athletic. Here's the 0-1. A slow curveball for a strike. That was a hanging breaking ball to Francisco, but McIntosh got away with it. That curveball ended up at the top of the zone. Corner infielders. Both of them were playing in earlier. The third baseman, Ryan Maggie, is even with the sliding cutout. First baseman, Murray, is back. Here's the 0-2. Francisco fouls it back, spoiling an outside fastball. Looks like a player loosening up in the Flyboys bullpen. J.D. Hay has allowed a run over 2 innings so far in what will go in the books as a relief appearance, but really is his first start of the season. 0-2 on Francisco. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball misses high. McIntosh tried to double up on that slow curve, but it missed about head high to Francisco. Flyboys leading 9-3 with nobody away and the bases loaded here in the top of the 7th. McIntosh in an impossible situation. Here's the 1-2. Breaking ball misses inside. Another curve from McIntosh, but not able to locate the last 2. Now on 2-2, he'll have to go to whatever he is most confident in. Flyboys looking to add some more. Here's the pitch. Francisco hits a high pop fly to shallow left field. Costco coming in, Smolinski going out, and Ty Smolinski makes the catch. No tag from Cameron Kim at third base. So Francisco is retired. Bases loaded, 1 away, and Reed Hare stepping in. Left-handed batter. Hare played last season at UNC Charlotte. Hare has one of 2 grand slams this season for the Flyboys. He hit his against another team that happens to don the color green, Pulaski. That was on the road, and the Flyboys are the designated road team, even though they're playing here at Pioneer Park. Maybe Hare's got another one in store. McIntosh, the right-hander, is set. Here's the pitch. Hare hits a soft liner through into right field for a base hit. Kim will score. McNaughton sprinting home. He'll score standing up. And it's a 2-run single for Reed Hare. The Flyboys are into double digits. It's 11-3 Greenville here in the top of the 7th. Reed Hare continues to swing it well with the bases loaded. RBIs number 29 and 30 for him this season. He's catching Ezra McNaughton. McNaughton still has 8 more than Hare, but Hare has proven to be quite a good hitter for Greenville this season. First and third, 1 away. Flyboys leading 11-3, and the batter is A.J. Diaz. Here's the pitch. Diaz takes in the dirt. Gonzalez blocks it on a short hop. Diaz walked in a run his last time up. Sylvester still responsible for the runner at third. That's Dylan Jackson. He was hit to force in a run. Here's the 1-0. Diaz takes outside. Fastball missing. The Flyboys, if they can get both Jackson and Hare across, would be in mercy rule territory. Here's the 2-0. A breaking ball that finds the inside corner for a strike. Diaz steps out for a moment. Greenville would still need to get 3 outs in the bottom of the inning. McIntosh comes back with a 2-1. Diaz takes a low strike. That pitch was about a foot below the knees, but McIntosh got the call. I think Gonzalez framing it may have helped. Diaz didn't like it. That pitch was nowhere close to the strike zone. But it's 2-2. Hare has a good lead at first. Here's the pitch. Diaz checks his swing on a pitch in the dirt. And the appeal down to second says Diaz went around. I don't know how you can tell a swing from second base, but A.J. Diaz just got the bat taken out of his hands. I don't think he is very fond of either umpire after that. That was a breaking ball in the dirt. I don't know how you can tell that Diaz went around from second base. Men on the corners, 2 gone for Peyton Miller. Miller's been swinging a pretty hot bat as of late. Multi-hit performances in the games against Kingsport earlier this week. He takes a strike, cut an off-speed pitch from McIntosh. Miller, 4 hits in that series. All of them singles. He lined into a double play last inning. Got pretty unlucky. Here's the 0-1. Miller takes in the dirt. Top of the order waiting on deck for the Flyboys. Peyton Miller is the 9th man to the plate in this 7th inning. Flyboys leading 11-3 with 2 gone. Here's the 1-1. Miller hits a soft ground ball to the left side. Ryan Mackey is up with it. Low throw across is dug out by Chandler Murray. It looks like Murray pulled his foot off the base. The Flyboys' first base dugout is demonstratively pleading its case. They're appealing to James Chestnut, the field umpire, and he's going to talk to Denias Johnson about this. From here, it looks like Chandler Murray, even though he picked it cleanly, even though he dug it out cleanly, pulled his foot off the base, but a very quick discussion says that Murray kept his foot on. I disagree, and I think everybody in the Flyboys dugout does it as well. You don't see Jack Wilson argue very much, but he was talking to the umpires about that, to no avail. After 6.5, Flyboys lead Tri-State 11-3 on the Greenville Flyboys Baseball Network. Bottom of the 7th here at Pioneer Park, where the Greenville Flyboys lead Tri-State 11-3. The Flyboys have scored 6 runs since this game resumed. Suspended back in mid-June, resumed here in mid-July. And for the Flyboys, J.D. Hayes still out there on the mound. He'll face Cesar Gonzalez, Bishop Corliss, and Chandler Murray. 2, 3, and 4 in the Tri-State order due up. Gonzalez takes a first pitch strike. A breaking ball there from J.D. Hay. Facing Gonzalez and Corliss for the first time. Chandler Murray was the first man who stepped in to begin the resumption of this game. Here's the 0-1. Swinging a high chopper to the left side. Diaz waits on it. The throw across is a strong throw to get Cesar Gonzalez. A quick first out here in the home half of inning number 7, and the batter now is Bishop Corliss. Corliss up to 23 RBIs this season. Tri-State 7 games under 500, so Corliss, one of the bright spots for the Colcats this season. He leads the team in RBIs. Also 4 homers for him, second only to Ryan Maggie, the third baseman. Hay from the windup. Here's the pitch to Corliss. Left-handed batter takes outside. Hay tried a changeup there, but Corliss laid off. Game time temperature here in Greenville, 87 degrees. Here's the 1-0. Corliss chases a low off-speed pitch, and it's 1-1. And I distinctly remember the amount of rain that we had in Huntington. The 1-1. Corliss takes low. But 2 of those games were impacted by rain. And I'm hoping that we're able to get this doubleheader in without issue here tonight. Here's the 2-1. Corliss chases high cheese, and it's 2-2. The batting helmet came off of his head there. Hay looking for his 4th strikeout in 2 2/3. Corliss back in. Here's the pitch. Corliss fouls it back to the screen. I suspect we'll see more Flyboys fans here for Game 2 of this doubleheader. That'll begin 30 minutes after the conclusion of this game. So it will be after 7 o'clock, which is the originally scheduled start time. 2-2 on Corliss. Hay, a long pause, and here's the pitch. Corliss tips a breaking ball into the mid of Francisco, and he's gone. There is the 4th strikeout for J.D. Hay. He's retired 3 in a row. Now Chandler Murray stepping in. Murray, the first baseman for the Coldcats, was the first strikeout victim for J.D. Hay. The right-handed reliever up to 42 pitches in 2 2/3, looking for 3 strong innings in the resumption of this suspended game. Here's the pitch. Murray takes a breaking ball at the knees for a strike from Hay. Hay doing a good job getting settled in. He's usually a reliever, but working as the starter here this afternoon. The 0-1 misses outside. Francisco tried to frame that breaking ball, but it was off the plate. And if you're the Flyboys, you're thinking, okay, Kingsport is behind us now. Here's the 1-1. Murray takes outside again. It's easy to let tough losses like last night, giving up a 4-run lead in the top of the 9th inning. It's easy to let that get to you, but you've got to flush that out of your memory bank and get right back to work here against Tri-State. Here's the 2-1 to Murray. He fouls it off at home plate, and it's 2-2. But if Kingsport and Greenville play the exact same quality of baseball for the rest of the season, then the West semifinal would be between the Axemen and the Flyboys in Kingsport. Here's the 2-2. Breaking ball hit sharply but foul past first base. Bluefield and Burlington are tied atop the East entering tonight. We are in game 34 of 48. The Flyboys only playing 47 with a game canceled a few weeks ago. Here's the 2-2. Murray hits a line drive to right field. Hunter coming over, makes a running catch, ranging toward the foul line, and that's the 7th inning. A 1-2-3 inning for J.D. Hay, and as we go to inning number 8, Greenville with a commanding 11-3 lead over Tri-State on the Flyboys Baseball Network. Back here at Pioneer Park as we begin the 8th inning, the Greenville Flyboys leading Tri-State 11-3 in the resumption of this suspended game. Right-hander Daniel McIntosh still on the mound for Tri-State. Back to the top of the order, just like we began last inning. It'll be Tyler Inge, Grant Hunter, and Cameron Kim facing the righty this time, McIntosh. Here's the pitch. Inge takes low. Breaking ball from McIntosh there. A heavy dose of that curveball in his first inning of relief. Book is closed on Mason Sylvest. 1-0 on Inge. Here's the pitch. Hits a high chopper towards shortstop. Smolinski fields on the run. Sidearm throw is in time to get Tyler Inge. And the Flyboys leadoff man is gone. Sylvest, an inning, allowing 6 runs on 2 hits, 5 walks, 3 hit by pitches, and no strikeouts. 1+ as he faced 5 batters in the 7th inning without recording an out. Grant Hunter stepping in. He was plunked in the 7th. McIntosh always goes from the stretch. Here's the pitch. Hunter takes a fastball, middle for strike 1. Hunter was in the transfer portal when this game began in mid-June. Now in July, he's committed to Binghamton University. 0-1. Here's the pitch. Hunter takes inside. McIntosh missing with the fastball there. Couple of games just getting started around the Appy League. Bluefield and Bristol scoreless in the bottom of the 1st. Elizabethton and Burlington likewise in the top of the 1st. Ground ball to third, past the dive of Maggie toward the left field corner. Hunter is thinking about a double. Here's the throw from Luke Costco. It is cut off. Grant Hunter slides into second base with a 1-out double. Flyboys threatening once again. Greenville leading 11-3. Man at second, one away in the 8th inning for Cameron Kim. Kim had an RBI single last inning. 2 hits in 2 innings since this game was resumed. Right now, he's looking like he'll be the top performer because before the game was suspended, he also had an RBI double. So 3 for 5 with 2 RBIs. Number 3 potentially waiting out there on second base. Here's the pitch from Daniel McIntosh. Kim takes an inside strike. The sun is peeking out now. The plate is in the shade. The pitcher's mound is in the sun. This is earlier than we usually play in the afternoon hours. You think the advantage goes to the pitcher here. Here's the 0-1. Kim hits a high fly ball to deep center field. Bishop Quarles has a beat on it. He makes the catch in front of the warning track. Hunter tags up. He'll move to third as Kim is gone for the second out of the inning. Kim just got under that one. It was a fastball above the zone. But now a man at third and 2 gone in the 8th for Ezra McNaughton. McNaughton hit his league-leading 11th homer of the season yesterday. That was to lead off the 9th inning. As the Flyboys' comeback attempts in that 9th inning ultimately fell short against Kingsport. But McNaughton has been swinging it well all season long. He's raised his OPS by about 200 points since this game began in mid-June, though. Here's the pitch. McNaughton takes low and in from the righty McIntosh. Hunter over at third base after the double, and then the fly out from Cameron Kim moved him over. Infield shading McNaughton to his pull side. A lot of room down the third base line. Here's the 1-0. McNaughton takes low again. He's been walked both times he's come to the plate here today, reaching 4 of 5 times in this game. A couple RBIs, a couple base hits, and 3 runs scored. Here's the 2-0. McNaughton swings and misses at a good changeup from McIntosh. May have been a slider, had a lot of drop, had him out in front. You could see McNaughton's head coming off of that pitch. Ended up looking near the batter's eye as that one was in the dirt. Here's the 2-1. McNaughton hits a line drive towards center field, and Grant Hunter jogs home as McNaughton delivers once again. It's an RBI single for the man from BYU. And the Flyboys now lead 12-3 here in inning number 8. McNaughton up to 38 RBIs on the season. He's reached 5 of 6 times in this game, although it's been a little bit since his first 3 trips. Now here's Dylan Jackson. 7 of 9 Flyboys batters now. Actually, everybody's come to the plate at least twice in the first 3 innings. Jackson stepping in. Here's the pitch. He takes inside. Cameron Kim, Ezra McNaughton, and now Dylan Jackson have all come to the plate in all 3 offensive innings for the Flyboys since this game was resumed. Greenville with no shortage of traffic on the base paths. Here's the 1-0. Jackson hits a high drive toward deep left field. This ball is crushed out of here. A 2-run homer for Dylan Jackson. His second of the season. And the Flyboys are ahead by double digits. It's 14-3 in the 8th. Figured since we were playing a little bit earlier than normal, the temperature is a little higher, the ball might carry a little further. But that ball needed no help getting out of here. 390 feet to straightaway left. And now the Flyboys are in run rule territory, leading Tri-State by 11 runs. Greenville swinging it very well, opening this one up, leading 14-3. Base is empty for Brady Francisco. Here's the pitch. He takes up and in. It's one of the first times this season we've really seen a Dylan Jackson show off his pull side power. The only other home run that he's hit was a line drive opposite field homer in Elizabethton. There's a short porch in right field at the home of the River Riders. The 1-0 to Francisco is a breaking ball that misses high. The Flyboys doing it with the bats in this inning. They've only had 3 hits in the 2 innings prior to this one, but they scored 6 times. This one, 3 hits, 3 runs. Francisco takes inside. He thought he got hit by that pitch. He was walking toward first. Now he's looking at his elbow guard, talking to the home plate umpire, Danaeus Johnson, and saying, "Hey, did that not hit me?" Johnson said, "No, it's ball 3. Back in the box, young man." McIntosh looking to avoid the 2-out walk. Here's the pitch. That is ball 4. So Francisco is awarded first base either way. Pantera getting plenty of airplay here at Pioneer Park this afternoon. And you're hoping that it goes a little bit smoother on the mound for Tri-State in the second game of this doubleheader. Before Reed Hare comes to the plate, Tri-State manager Tommy Gregg is back out of the dugout, and I think we'll see a couple different players shuffling around here as one of the Tri-State infielders has gone to the dugout. We'll sort it out on the other side of this break. Greenville leading 14-3 in the top of the 8th on the Flyboys Baseball Network. Tri-State goes to a position player with 2 away in the top of inning number 8. The Flyboys leading 14-3, and the batter is Reed Hare. Brady Francisco aboard at first. Greenville has scored 3 times in this inning. A 2-run homer from Dylan Jackson and an RBI single from Ezra McNaughton. Flyboys 3 outs away from winning this game in run rule fashion. Jackson Golden is a catcher by trade. His first pitch is a 72-mile-per-hour fastball outside. But it's clear that Tri-State manager Tommy Gregg is just looking to save the arms for Game 2 of this doubleheader. The 1-0 to Hare is a strike. A 68-mile-per-hour fastball on the low outside corner. I mean, shoot. I don't know if I can locate that well, but I can throw about that hard. If Tri-State needs me to get on the mound, I'll happily do it. 1-1 to Hare. Swinging a foul ball toward third. Tell you what, Golden's working the outer part of the plate pretty well for a position player. The Flyboys have used a position player on the mound once this season. It was Peyton Miller. He allowed a run, but I think there was a game where the Flyboys were ahead. I don't remember. Here's the 1-2. Hare takes outside. But the Flyboys on the good side of an 11-run lead here in the top of inning number 8. They are the designated road team, so they will need 3 outs in the bottom of this inning without allowing 2 runs to seal it. Here's the 2-2. Hare fouls it away. Golden up to 74 with the fastball. I remember going to Victory Field to watch Paul Skeens pitch last year, and they had the speed pitch there with a radar gun. I don't know how accurate the gun was. With no warm-up, I was able to hit 75. Here's the 2-2. Hare hits a slow roller to second base. Julio Soler underhand flips to first, and Hare is gone to end the inning. But the Flyboys lead by 11 runs, I should say. 14-3 over Tri-State. 3 outs before Tri-State scores 2 runs, and this game will end. We'll go to the home half of inning number 8 on the Flyboys Baseball Network. Back here at Pioneer Park in the bottom of the 8th inning. Flyboys leading Tri-State 14-3. 3 outs away from winning this game in mercy rule fashion, which, considering it was suspended at the halfway point with Greenville leading 5-2, that's not a bad 4.5 innings at the office. Colton Richards is the right-hander making his debut for Greenville. Richards, a late addition to the roster, as the Flyboys have had pitchers like Kellen Klosterman, Jace Smith, Emery Dawkins, and Tate Riggs depart. So Richards filling a space on the pitching staff and a much-needed addition. He'll face Demir Heidelberg, Julio Soler, and Sam Winsett in the middle part of this Cole-Cats lineup. The 1-0 pitch to Heidelberg is outside. Richards missed low with the first heater, outside with that one, and it's 2-0 on Heidelberg. Heidelberg picked up his first hit in a Tri-State uniform this season with a solo homer the last time up. 2-0 is yanked outside. That's ball 3 to the Eastern Michigan commit. Heidelberg's name sounds pretty similar to Heisenberg, and the Flyboys have put a picture of Walter White on the video board to represent Demir Heidelberg. He takes low and outside, and that's ball 4 from Colton Richards. So the leadoff man walks on 4 pitches, and here's Julio Soler. Soler hitting for the 2nd time today, 4th time in this game. 0 for 1, he lined out to Grant Hunter in right field. The Flyboys outfielder made a fine diving catch over there. Pickoff move to first. Heidelberg is safe. Colton Richards looking to find the strike zone here. A double play would be nice right about now. Here's the pitch. Fastball for a strike from Richards. At the knees at 88 miles per hour. Richards standing at 6'1", 195. A native of Afton, Tennessee. Plays his ball at Walters State Junior College. Here's the 0-1. Soler chases a breaking ball in the dirt, and it's 0-2. Had the right-handed batter well out in front there. Julio Soler, a native of Massachusetts, plays his ball at Boston College. 0-2 slider misses low and away from Richards. So a couple Boston College Eagles in town with Kingsport yesterday. One of those, Jace Rusine, a switch-hitting catcher. Here's the 1-2. Soler takes low and outside as Richards misses with the heater. The Kingsport Axemen seem to be heating up once again. No lead is safe when you face them, and the Flyboys found that out the hard way yesterday. 2-2 on Soler. Here's the pitch. Fastball that misses outside. That's ball 3. And the runner jogging to second. That's only ball 3. Now the Flyboys, I think Heidelberg just took second base. He jogged towards second. Nobody knew the count. So Heidelberg should get credit for a stolen base there. He thought it was ball 4. Soler flipped his bat toward the third base dugout. He also thought it was ball 4, but now the count is 3-2, and Heidelberg gets the easiest stolen base of his life. A mental lapse there by everybody except Heidelberg. Now that's ball 4. So back-to-back walks to start Colton Richards' 2025 Flyboys campaign. And now the batter is Sam Winsett. Flyboys leading 14-3. First and second, nobody out in the bottom of the 8th. And Winsett digging in here. This is not what the Flyboys want, because this game is in run rule territory right now. Greenville leads by 11. And I will go on a tangent here during the mound meeting. Jared Morton, the pitching coach, comes out of the dugout. The Flyboys playing Afterlife by Avenged Sevenfold is not something I had on my bingo card. I'm a metalhead, and Avenged Sevenfold is part of the listening rotation for me. Part of the playing rotation, too, when I break my guitar out every now and again. Actually, it's more than every now and again. But this is a song that I want to learn, because Avenged Sevenfold has some really fun instrumentation. And I don't know, I feel like rhythm guitar parts and lead guitar parts can be equally captivating. Of course, I'm also really bad at playing leads, but Avenged Sevenfold has some good rhythm parts, and this is one of them. Unfortunately, I can't play it without talking over it a little bit, or it becomes a copyright issue. After the mound meeting, first and second, nobody away for Sam Winsett. Here's the pitch from Richards. Inside, and almost hit him. Winsett saying something to the Tri-State third base dugout. He was pointing towards his face. The man out of Delaware, a blue hen. That's a fun mascot. Flyboys leading 14-3 in the bottom of the 8th. They need 3 outs before Tri-State scores 2 runs, and this game is over. The 1-0 is a strike from Richards. He's thrown 12 pitches, just 3 of them in the zone. But still, if you're looking for any solace, a double play puts you 1 out away from ending this thing. Richards looking to dial it in here. The 1-1 pitch. Winsett takes a slider. That's the best pitch that Richards has thrown. That was a slider right on the low outside corner to the right-handed hitter. Soler at first. Heidelberg at second. Soler, the trail runner, is among the league's leaders. He's got 16 stolen bases this season. Here's the 1-2. Slider hit softly on the ground to first. Jackson to second for one. The shortstop on to first. The throw gets away. Now here comes the runner to the plate. There is no throw there. And Tri-State scores on the throwing error from the shortstop, Cameron Kim. It's 14-4. The one out recorded on the play, a 3-6 fielder's choice. That's a tough double play to turn. And Kim just yanked that throw past first base. Dylan Jackson was over there. The pitcher, Richards, was also covering the bag. He was jogging over. So a fielder's choice, no RBI, as Heidelberg scores on the throwing error charged to the shortstop, Cameron Kim. So now the lone runner is Winsett at first. Flyboys lead 14-4. The batter is Ryan Maggie. Here's the pitch. He takes in the dirt, blocked on a short hop by Brady Francisco. Maggie leads Tri-State with 5 homers this season. Greenville leading 14-4. A double play seals up the run rule victory. But if Winsett scores, then we will play the 9th. Pickoff move to first, and Winsett is in there standing. Richards is set. Here's the 1-0 to Maggie. A fastball low and away. Sam Winsett does not get credit for the RBI on that throwing error. Would have been a 3-6-3 double play, but Kim's throw got to foul territory, past the first base bag. Here's the 2-0. Maggie takes in the dirt, and that's ball 3. All 3 of these pitches missing well below the zone to the left-handed batter, Maggie. Richards struggling for command in his Flyboys debut. And this is the first time he's pitched to Brady Francisco in a game situation. Get me over fastball was there for a strike. And it's tough when you're coming into a new environment, pitching on a field you've never played on before. Richards has to find the zone here. 3-1. Maggie takes inside, and that's ball 4. Third walk in 4 batters issued by Colton Richards. And the 5th man to the plate in this inning is Ty Smolinski, another left-handed hitter.
Now batting number 22, Ty Smolinski.
Smolinski out of Kansas State walked his first time. Flyboys leading 14-4. First and second, 1 out in the bottom of the 8th. Greenville, of course, will be the home team for the next game of this doubleheader, the regularly scheduled game, but that will be 7 innings. Here's the pitch. Smolinski hits a high fly ball to deep right field, and folks, we're going to play the 9th. That ball is headed into the trees well beyond the right field wall. It's a 3-run homer for Ty Smolinski, his 2nd of the season. RBIs numbers 11, 12, and 13, and it's 14-7 in the bottom of the 8th. The Flyboys are allergic to winning games by mercy rule, I think, because that's now the 2nd time in the last week that they've had a chance at a mercy rule, and they have refused to get 3 outs. Smolinski, the number 9 hitter, smashes a 407-foot homer to straightaway right field. Richards left the fastball up right there. Smolinski got the hands in and drove it a long way out of here. Back to the top of the order for Luke Costco. Here's the pitch. Left-handed batter takes low from Richards. Turning into a football score here. 3 combined touchdowns in this game. Flyboys leading 14-7. Costco takes a strike from Richards. He's up to 22 pitches, 8 of them for strikes. 3 walks and a homer in this frame. 7 combined errors in this game. Here's the 1-1. Costco hits a chopper to the left side. Diaz whiffs on it. The shortstop, Kim, backs it up, but he's got no play. I don't know why the fans are frustrated at Cameron Kim there. Just goes to show some people don't always know what they're talking about. Gonzalez reaches on what will probably be scored an E5, or maybe an infield hit. Diaz had to charge and try to cut that off, but he could not do so successfully. Cameron Kim prevented that from going into the outfield. And they'll give Costco an infield hit. Now the batter, Cesar Gonzalez. Man at first, still only one away in the inning. The Flyboys lead 14-7. A 3-run homer from Ty Smolinski takes Tri-State out of run rule territory. Gonzalez digging in. Had a 2-run single in the 4th inning, but that was over a month ago. Here's the pitch. Gonzalez takes a fastball for a strike. Gonzalez, the right-handed hitting catcher, a native of Venezuela. He, too, plays at Boston College. I'm sure Gonzalez will have a chance to face Freddie Benavides as the 0-1 is fouled back. Benavides committed to Pitt. 6 scoreless innings for the Flyboys yesterday in his final start for Greenville. 12 scoreless innings to close his Appy League season. Nearly perfect on the hill for the Flyboys. He'll head off to the ACC. Wishing him all the best in one of the best conferences in college baseball. 0-2 on Gonzalez. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball fouled back. Richards had him out in front there. Fans filing in. Already a much more well-attended game than it was when it started. We did not get over 1,000 people for any of the 3 games at Tri-State a month ago. Time called at home plate before the 0-2 pitch. The weather that weekend was dreadful every single day, so you can understand why those games were not well attended. Friday and Saturday were both exceptionally rainy, stormy. Sunday was incredibly humid. Here's the 0-2. Gonzalez takes low and away. Nobody up in the Flyboys bullpen, so this is Richards' inning one way or another. Up to 27 pitches, having recorded just 1 out. Costco at first. Flyboys leading 14-7 in the bottom of the 8th. Here's the pitch. Gonzalez hits a pop fly foul and out of play toward the first base side. That ball finds the seats. Game 2 of this doubleheader will be 30 minutes after the conclusion of Game 1. Right now the Flyboys are in control, but they had a 4-run lead going into the 9th inning yesterday and did not close it out. Looking to avoid deja vu. Richards is set. Here's the 1-2. Gonzalez lines it foul past first again. Doing a good job spoiling some pitches. Saw that yesterday with Kingsport and Greenville. Colin Larson worked an 11-pitch walk facing Freddie Benavides. Ultimately, Benavides got a double play to get out of the inning, but Larson did his part, extending Benavides' pitch count. Here's the 1-2, low and away. A throw behind the runner at first, and he was nearly picked off by Brady Francisco. He and Dylan Jackson were high school teammates, and they like that back pick, trying to catch the runner at first napping. But Costco hustled back and got his hand in there. 2-2 on Gonzalez. This next pitch will be the 8th of the at-bat from Colton Richards. And time called by the batter, Gonzalez. The 3-run homer from Ty Smolinski earlier in this inning, punctuating the frame. Gonzalez is the 7th man to the plate in this 8th frame. Here's the pitch. He takes in the dirt. Ball 3. Another throw behind the runner. Jackson has to leap to grab it. That ball was headed for right field. Costco is back in standing, and it's a full count on Gonzalez now. He is really making Colton Richards work. Richards has recorded just 1 out on 31 pitches, and he steps off. Now back on the rubber, and he's set. Here's the 3-2. The runner goes, the pitch is outside, and that's ball 4. Jack Wilson coming out of the Flyboys' first base dugout. A very slow walk. But I haven't seen anybody getting up and loose in the Flyboys bullpen, so I think this is just a mound meeting rather than a pitching change. But no, Jack Wilson is going to go out to get Colton Richards. So his Flyboys debut ends after 1 out and 7 batters faced. He's responsible for the men on first and second. Greenville leading this one 14-7. Tyler Inge comes out of the dugout. Is he going to, I don't know who's going to take over on the mound here. None of the Flyboys infielders are two-way players, except A.J. Diaz, and I think A.J. Diaz will take over on the mound. We saw Diaz a couple nights ago against Kingsport. That was on Tuesday. So less than 48 hours later, he's on the mound again. Diaz goes from third base to the mound. Cameron Kim moves to third. Tyler Inge to shortstop from the designated hitter position. First and second, 1 away. Greenville leading 14-7 in the bottom of the 8th when we come back on the Flyboys Baseball Network. Pitching change for the Flyboys here with 1 away in the bottom of inning number 8. A.J. Diaz takes over for Colton Richards with first and second and nobody away. Diaz pitched a couple nights ago, the two-way player moving over from third base to the mound to face Bishop Corliss. Corliss takes low and outside. Diaz pitched against Kingsport on Tuesday. You don't usually see the Flyboys use a pitcher twice in 3 days, but that's the case for him. Diaz gave up 3 runs in an inning and 2/3 as Kingsport beat the Flyboys 8-4. The pitch, Corliss hits a slow roller to the right side, cut off by Jackson to second for 1. The throw to first in time, and that's a 3-6-1 inning-ending double play rolled up by A.J. Diaz. But the 3-run homer from Ty Smolinski means that we will play the 9th inning. Greenville leading Tri-State 14-7 on the Flyboys Baseball Network. Flyboys leading Tri-State 14-7 as we begin the top of inning number 9. A.J. Diaz facing the position player Jackson Golden. Diaz, Peyton Miller, and Tyler Inge due up here. But Golden entered when this game was 14-3 and in run rule territory. Next one to Diaz is crushed down the left field line, but foul. That ball had home run distance by plenty. Diaz hit it 404 feet. Unfortunately, it was fouled by about 25 feet. Jackson Golden is a catcher by trade. Tommy Gregg, the Tri-State manager, putting him on the mound because he needs to save some pitching for Game 2 of this doubleheader and then the regularly scheduled 9-inning game tomorrow. 1-1 to Diaz, a 70. That pitch didn't even show up on TrackMan, actually. That was so slow, it didn't show up, and Diaz took it on the inside corner for strike 2. That got a nice reaction out of the Tri-State dugout. Just by eyeballing it, that was about 55 miles an hour. Here's the 1-2. Hit off the end of the bat, foul toward first. Golden going with a Johnny Cueto-style leg kick right there. Hustled it up at 76. 1-2 on Diaz. And I don't know, if I got struck out by a position player, I don't know if my teammates would ever let me hear the end of it. Here's the 1-2. Low and away. Flyboys leading 14-7 here in the top of the 9th. Colecats got 4 back in the bottom of the 8th. A throwing error and a 3-run homer from Ty Smolinski. Here's the 2-2. Diaz hits a soft liner down the left field line. That's a fair ball. Diaz takes a big turnaround first. He's going to go for second. The throw from Costco is well late. And that is the first extra base hit of the season for A.J. Diaz. It's a leadoff double. Batting average and slugging percentage were both 156 entering this one. But he's got himself a 2-bagger. Diaz got his hands in on that 48-mile-per-hour eephus from Jackson Golden and laced it down the line. So now here's Peyton Miller. The pitch from Golden, low and outside, backhanded on a short hop by Gonzalez. We will have Game 2 of this doubleheader coming up 30 minutes after the conclusion of this one. Miller hits a pop fly foul toward first. That ball is out of play. Flyboys nearing the end of not just their home slate, but the season, including Game 2 of this doubleheader. The Flyboys have 7 home games left. Here's the 1-1. Miller takes inside. 2 more against Tri-State, 2 against Burlington, 2 against Elizabethton, and then 1 against Johnson City. Here's the 2-1. Miller takes outside. Sometimes when a position player is pitching, you'll see the umpire expand the strike zone a little bit, but Golden is throwing hard enough to where you can't do that. Here's the 3-1. Miller takes inside, and that's ball 4. Tri-State coming in riding high after mercy ruling first place Bluefield 13-3 in 7 innings yesterday. The other run rule was Danville beating Elizabethton 17-3 in 7 innings. The Otterbots lifting themselves to within 6 games of first place. Tyler Inge stepping in, first and second, nobody away. The pitch, a soft liner, drifting short, shallow right. It's out of the reach of Julio Soler, the second baseman. Everybody moves up 90 feet, and the Flyboys have the bases loaded with nobody out. Inge fights off the inside pitch from the position player, Golden. Now the base is loaded for Grant Hunter. Flyboys up 14-7 in the top of the 9th. Sun is behind the clouds. The floodlights are turned on. Awkward lighting conditions. It's pretty dark here at Pioneer Park, even though it's only 15 minutes past 7 o'clock. Hunter waits on a slow off-speed pitch. Infield fly is in effect. Ty Smolinski, the shortstop, makes the catch. And Hunter is gone for the first out. That pitch came to the plate at a very nice 69 miles an hour from Jackson Golden. He got Hunter to pop it up. Hunter's not happy about that. Cameron Kim stepping in. A couple RBI singles in the middle innings. For this game, he is 3 for 6 with 2 RBIs. Golden is ready. Here's the pitch. Kim takes a strike. 67-mile-per-hour fastball at the knees. Golden is set once again, and he deals. Kim hits a fly ball toward right field. Demir Heidelberg is there, and he makes the catch. Diaz tags from third. The throw coming in is cut off. And it's a sacrifice fly for Cameron Kim. Flyboys now lead 15-7 with 2 gone in the top of the 9th for Ezra McNaughton. Diaz scores. Peyton Miller to third. Men on the corners for McNaughton. He has reached 5 of 6 times in this game. 3 hits, 2 RBIs, or 3 RBIs, I should say, and 4 runs scored. This will be a record for the longest game in the Appy League this season. A slow Ephus pitch misses about head high to McNaughton. Jackson Golden on the mound again. He's a catcher. He's a position player pitching here, with the Flyboys leading by 8 in the 9th. Tri-State effectively waving the white flag. Here's the 1-0. An Ephus pitch misses outside. That one at 49 miles per hour, just to give you an idea of what we're working with here. But you know McNaughton, he'll take every at-bat he can get. Here's the 2-0. McNaughton hits a ground ball foul past first. But this game will have taken from start to finish 33 days. And this game started at 7:12 back on June 14th. So 33 days and give or take half an hour to complete. 33 days and 30 minutes. That'll be the longest game in the Appy League this season. Here's the 2-1. McNaughton hits a pop fly on the infield. Drifting out now towards shallow left center. Ty Smolinski is called off by the left fielder Luke Costco, who makes the catch to retire McNaughton and end the inning. Position player Jackson Golden allows the fewest runs given up by a pitcher in any full inning for Tri-State today. As we go to the bottom of the 9th, Flyboys leading 15-7 over Tri-State on the Flyboys Baseball Network. Flyboys leading 15-7 as we begin the bottom of inning number 9. Greenville leading Tri-State. Chandler Murray to the plate facing A.J. Diaz. And Diaz delivers a fastball for a strike. Chandler Murray stepping in for the third time today. The 0-1. Swing and a miss. He fanned on an off-speed pitch, and it's 0-2. Murray 0 for 4 in the game. And again, this game was originally slated for June 14th. We got halfway through with the Flyboys leading, so we're playing the final half of the game here today. A pop-up on the infield behind the mound. Cameron Kim, the shortstop, makes the catch on the infield grass. And Murray pops out to begin the bottom of inning number 9. Base is empty for Demir Heidelberg. He's reached both times today. He was not on the Tri-State roster when this game began, before it was suspended. But Diaz looking to end this one and get the Flyboys back on the home side of the scorecard quickly. Heidelberg takes low and away, and it's ball 1 from Diaz. The righty comes back, and Heidelberg takes a high strike. The heater there from the two-way player Diaz. In line for the win is J.D. Hay. 1-1 fouled back, and it's 1-2 on Heidelberg. But we will be right back here for game 2 of this doubleheader. We'll be on air shortly before first pitch. I would anticipate that game starting at about 8 o'clock or 8:15. Heidelberg hits it on the ground to short. Cameron Kim is up with it. A strong throw across retires Heidelberg. And Tri-State is down to its final out, trailing 15-7. Julio Soler stepping to the plate. Flyboys have controlled this game from the jump. They led 5-2 when it was suspended, and Greenville has scored in every offensive inning since the game resumed. 2, 4, 3, and then 1 run in the 9th. Here's the pitch to Soler, swinging a line drive toward left center field. Soler is not going down quietly. He's got a 2-out single. Reed Hare getting the ball back in. Sam Winsett stepping to the plate now. Man at first as the Flyboys lead 15-7 with 2 gone in the 9th.
Now batting number 38, Sam Winsett.
So Winsett stepping in. 1 for 4 with a couple runs scored in this game. Big swings of the bat post-resumption. 1 from Dylan Jackson. That was a 2-run homer. Winsett takes low and away for ball 1. A 2-run single from Reed Hare. An RBI knock from Cameron Kim as well. 3-run homer for Ty Smolinski of Tri-State meant that we were going to play the 9th. Winsett fouls it away, and the count is 1-1. Flyboys were up 14-3, but Smolinski hit a 3-run homer to keep it going. Looks like it'll all be for naught, though. Diaz looking to end it right here. 1-1 on Winsett, the runner not being held on at first. Here's the pitch. Winsett hits a shallow pop fly to left field. Kim going out, coming in, and making a sliding catch to end the game is Ezra McNaughton. He had to hustle in a long way to get that one, but the Flyboys win. It took over a month, but Greenville wins this game by a final score of 15-7. We will be back in about half an hour for a 7-inning game to cap off this doubleheader. I would anticipate that game beginning at about 8 o'clock Eastern. We will get back on the air shortly before first pitch. The Flyboys improving to 19-15 on the season. They have swept the June series against the Coalcats. They'll look to open the regularly scheduled 2-game series with a win later on tonight. Greenville 15, Tri-State 7.